There we go. Now it should say I'm going live. Right. Hold on. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're live. I think we're chilling, man. Looks like it. All right. Whoa, baby. Get my situation settled here. All right. So, what are we doing tonight? I think start off with the daily. And I say daily singular. Singular daily. And I believe it is the city under siege. There it is. Okay. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. All right. Like this. Like that. All right. Cool. Grab some more people. Yo, Amar, how's it going, man? How you doing? All right. See if we'll grab a fourth. If not, we'll just start with 3. Let's see what happens. I think we're just going to ready up anyways. Rogue, what's up, dude? I'm good. How are you? I'm good, man. I'm good. Just hanging out. Aiden, how you doing? What's going on, man? Oh, they dipped out on me, eh? That's crazy. Rogue, what's up, man? You just... What's going on, Rogue? Ali, hello. A bunch of H's. Thanks, Ali. Can I count on you to help? Oh, are we getting double Hulks for this one? But yeah, hope you guys are chilling tonight. Hope you guys are enjoying your Monday. Obviously, we got the big deep dive tomorrow, 1 p.m. Black Panther, please. Jenkins, I will say that I am confident enough to say that you'll get some sort of Black Panther tease. Some sort of tease, man. I'm Batman. I'm Bald Man. Well, not right now, but I will be tomorrow. Lucky you have 2 Hawks. Am I lucky? Am I lucky? What if they're really bad? What if they're built really terribly? Hello, yo, Sean. How you doing, man? So what are your predictions for Hawkeye? My predictions are you'll probably get about 16 minutes worth of... 15 minutes worth of video. You'll probably get a lot of emphasis on kind of the new wasteland, the new biome. You'll probably get some emphasis on his skills. They're going to save a lot of the combat stuff for the combat stream. You'll get some story teases. You'll get a Black Panther tease at the end. They probably won't talk about anything to do with Omega level threats. You'll get some sort of kind of confirmation that the Maestro will be a skin as well, more than likely. That's probably it, man, to be honest with you. That's probably it. I can't see it being too much else. Hope they show off Spidey. As much as I would love to see Spider-Man, that's like a best case scenario. It's a best case scenario to see anything to do with Spider-Man right now. Manchester United jersey, we love to see it. Of course. I love Penendez. It's Fernandez, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What stuff do you think they can show them? Will bring back fans, at least more hype for the game? I think Black Panther in general will bring people back to the... Like, here's the thing. I don't see Hawkeye as being the kind of, like, come back, everyone, come back to the game. I think if you're already invested in the story, I think Hawkeye will be a continuation of your investment in the story, and you'll want to see that continue. I think, if anything, what will bring fans back is twofold. You'll see... fans will come back for more multiplayer content that's hard, so like Omega level threats, cloning labs, a raid will bring people back. But I think without kind of that inclusion, you're not really going to bring a lot of people back that maybe are sitting out right now. So do I think Hawkeye will bring waves of players back? Unless there's some big surprise in Hawkeye that they're holding back on and we see it tomorrow, probably not. I think players are waiting for kind of a big multiplayer reason to come back, which is where I think Black Panther, not just as a character, but as what that character is also going to bring in, will bring people back to the game. I'm doing pretty good, because Sean. Wasn't keep that at 8 minutes to win Clint as well? I think they would probably go longer. I would like to see them go longer with it, simply because I think they need to show off a lot to bring people back to the game. Like I said, I don't think Clint or Hawkeye will bring people back to the game, but I think they need to go balls to the walls with what they show, in hopes that if there's any argument to be made, that they make it all in totality. Carson, how you doing? Can I talk about WandaVision for a sec? I think you might be good to talk about WandaVision, considering it's Monday. Yeah, you should be. What about Captain Marvel? You think she'll be there? No, Captain Marvel is probably gonna be later in the year. Before, I don't think any. I think tomorrow you see Clint, obviously. I think you see a little bit of a Black Panther tease, and maybe on if all the stars align, maybe we see something to do with Spider-Man. But that's if everything aligns perfectly. I don't think there's a real good chance that we see anything to do with Spider-Man unless literally everything aligns perfectly for him. I think we're kind of glitched here, so we're gonna just restart. Just gonna start. Are you gonna get the younger Thor? Wait, what do you mean the younger Thor? T-minus 18 hours to 1 p.m. Tuesday for Hawkeye. Love your pockets. Predicted these for Wakanda tomorrow. Sheldon, I would wager that you're right, man. We're definitely gonna get Black Panther stuff. It's kind of sad. I don't know if you guys saw the latest video with Stardust, but it kind of sucks for Hawkeye fans, because everyone's talking about Black Panther stuff, and Hawkeye fans are yeah, it's our day, you know what I mean? But like I said, Hawkeye is a character that I think if you're interested in the story, you'll play, obviously. But I think Black Panther has the possibility to bring people back if done well. What if they totally disappoint us? We should keep our expectations low. I always say, man, hope for the best, but expect the worst. And at that point, whatever you get, if it's better than your expectations, you're excited. If it's not, then your expectations already matched the reality that you were given. You know what I mean? Did you see the civilians? I did see the civilians in the little GIF. I did see that behind them. Do you predict the Winter Soldier character down the road? Yes, I do. There's already been kind of little teases towards Bucky. And I think Bucky is kind of a character that is almost a no-brainer at this point if you're talking Avengers characters. So, yeah, I would say probably Bucky for sure. On your character list, it's showing the younger Thor works where you can buy. Wait, what, Sean? Sorry, I don't quite get it. My biggest worry is that they show us Hawkeye fight after the war table with the way almost. Yeah, that's a good one too, right? That's a really big concern of mine as well. The fact that they gave us 3 weeks of runway here to prepare for the war table deep dive. If it's anything more than a week, they really screwed the pooch on this announcement. That's kind of where I'm standing with regards to the announcement of it. I'm predicting the 23rd. It gives tomorrow for the deep dive, gives Friday for a combat stream. That to me makes a lot of sense with the timetable they gave. If it's anything longer than that, oof, that's tough, man. Are you on Twitch? No, JJ, I'm not on Twitch anymore, man. I'm just doing a lot of YouTube stuff right now, brother. I think Doctor Strange will make an appearance since he was a book. Doctor Strange is probably one that's probably up there in the most kind of confirmed but not confirmed, but kind of, you know what I mean? He's probably one of the smarter picks. If you had to have a betting pool on characters that would probably come to this game, I think Doctor Strange would be one you could probably safely put money on. We know She-Hulk is coming. Yeah, She-Hulk was data mined. She-Hulk was among Bucky. I think he means the Cobalt skin, the shave face skin Thor. No, I only use Unworthy for my Thor. That's the only one I use. How's it going, Assemble and everyone else? Yo, B-Dog, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Hello, I know it's not prediction, but I have a problem. Why can't I find in the hub world? Oh, Morgan? Uh-oh. Morgan. I was reading that, Morgan. Hope you're doing all right, Morgan. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you guys are all doing all right. Hope you guys are chilling. Doctor Strange and Marvel's Avengers combo, and then we'll get them into this fall early next year. I think your timeline's probably right, but I think eventually we get Strange. Dip, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? What's up, man? It's been a hot minute, bro. What's going on? We know for a fact Strange and Bucky exist in the universe. Yeah, it's just a matter of implementing them in the game. But they're out there. Hope they add Unworthy skin back to the game. I do too. I always said like the marketplace isn't working. So my idea of the marketplace is to put every skin out there and then let anyone buy the skin they want at any time and have a highlighted section for skins that are new that they're adding. I don't think the marketplace is working as they intended it to right now, and I think right now at this point they should probably scrap their idea for the marketplace and kind of just rework it. So someone who wants Unworthy, say someone queues up with me and I'm playing Thor and they see Unworthy and they're like, shit, I need Unworthy, and they just go right to the marketplace and buy it. You know what I mean? Instead of waiting weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks for a skin that may never show up until like 7 weeks later, it just seems like they're really kind of missing out on what their kind of implementation of their marketplace is. Ant-Man, that would be my favorite to play as intrinsically be to shrink 100%. Yeah, Ant-Man would be a really good one. Ant-Man would be a great one. She-Hulk is probably going to be more agile than the Hulk. I personally, She-Hulk. Yeah, I think She-Hulk is going to be a really interesting one to kind of play. But it nonetheless is going to be very cool to play as her, I should say. I really want Moon Knight life, bro. Buddy, I hear you, man. I hope you're doing all right, brother. Well, Moon Knight is probably going to be my number one of who I want. Ooh, a Moon Knight would be really cool. I don't think my game's working, guys. Have you guys had issues with the game today? Seems like it's not even working. I wonder if it's multiplayer. I wonder if I can try solo. Hello, yeah, I can't find the shield faction to get the rewards in the airship. Is it a bug or is it should be? I also know how to go back to the new hub world that the K DLC introduced. So the new hub world is in the Pacific Northwest. You just hold square over it. Here, I can do it. Let's see. So, give me 1 second here, Morgan. I got you. Another Canadian, Paul. I do my best to represent us Canadians out there. How you going? How you doing, man? Who would be a possible villain for Winter Soldier? Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you guys like to see for a Winter Soldier villain that would drop alongside him? Who would you guys like to fight in that DLC? Facts, I want the OG. Yeah, their marketplace just isn't working right now, JJ. Honestly, that should be some of the feedback they're incorporating into like, because like that right there is like how they need to get money. But yeah, Morgan, give me a quick sec, and I will help you. So how you get to Shield Substation 0 is in the Pacific Northwest. And it should just be right up here. Travel to Outpost, you hold that bad boy, and you're right there. Right there. Here, let's talk about Strange and Panther. The question is, where's Squirrel Girl? JK, what Captain Marvel? A solid choice. A solid choice. I want Ant-Man and the Wasp. Have you noticed the anthill? There's a chamber with a Shanker growing at? Yeah, I have seen that. It's pretty cool, eh? That is pretty cool. There's a lot of neat little details in the background that is there. You just got to pick up on them, you know? What happens tomorrow? We'll decide if we go back to playing or wait until Hawkeye drops. I mean, buddy, that's a fair point. That's what a lot of people are thinking, right? I think a lot of people are in that kind of predicament. You know what I mean? You play without me for real? Greek, what's up? I just play. Mondays is like my day to play with like chat, bro. Just my day to play with chat, brother. How long till the new character shows up? Sean, that's a great question. We won't know until tomorrow. I'm predicting the 23rd, to be honest with you. Red Skull for Bucky. Okay, got a lot of Red Skull. Captain America. You want Captain America to be facing off against Bucky? Go Leafs, go. Another Canadian here. Listen, I'm not that Canadian, all right? Let's relax on that one. I'm not that Canadian. But I am in the area. So, I mean, I know a lot of Leaf fans just because I am in the Toronto area. They should do a daily item shop routine like Fortnite. I mean, they could, but I think the thing is, I just feel like the FOMO isn't working the way it should be. You know what I mean? Winter Soldier villain Zemo? That a U.S. agents game as villain would be cool. That would be really cool, Dip. Glad I can make it to one of these. So wait for tomorrow. Yo, Leafy, how you doing, man? I think a lot of us are hyped for tomorrow. I think tomorrow is a lot of hype, but I think there's a lot of people that are very reserved about kind of their feelings about it. You know what I mean? A lot of people are just kind of waiting to see what they got. It's a wait and see kind of approach, which I totally respect. You know what I mean? Wait and see what they deliver, and if it's enough for you, come back. If not, then, you know, if you're still invested, maybe Black Panther will do it for you. You know what I mean? All right, guys. We're trying to play my We're trying to play my Black Widow, who is I stole Lejeune's build a little bit, and obviously morphed it into my own crazy abomination of ugliness. Just give me 1 sec here. Obviously I can catch up with chat after this, but yeah, honestly, hope you guys are doing well. Thank you guys for joining me tonight on a Marvel Monday. Looking forward to reading all your guys' predictions tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow as well, guys. Obviously 12:45 p.m. Eastern. We'll be covering the deep dive. Be kind of all sorts of fun stuff coming this week to the channel. Oh, I missed that. Oh no. Oh no. I want Daredevil. Ooh, I just went to Arby's to tell you about it. Now I'm throwing it away. If you're throwing away Arby's, man, you really need to get your priorities set, brother. You can't be throwing Arby's away, man. Nothing worse than throwing away perfectly good Arby's. You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Who is this guy? Yo, Calyx, what's up? I haven't played since November. Yeah, I mean, buddy, you're gonna find a lot of that in here, man. There's a lot of people who just kind of been sitting around waiting to see what they deliver, and it's like I said, it's a fair point, man. It's a fair point. Maybe Batrock or Crossbones from Hydra. Ooh, Sheldon, that's a good one. That's a good one. I want Daredevil. Yeah, so do I. Do you think we'll see a Maestro skin? Matrix. We will most definitely see a Maestro skin. We will most definitely see a Maestro skin. Long time ago, there was an artist who had a portfolio kind of out there in the wild. I'd have to go through like an early video of mine, but in the video that and in the portfolio from that artist, there was a Maestro skin in there. So I would be very surprised if they go back on that and they don't include that Maestro skin. So I will say that more than likely there's a Maestro skin that will be coming with the Hawkeye DLC. More than likely. Favorite character's already coming, so I'm good. A true Hawkeye fan. I respect it. Unbelievable. My boy Hyrule, yo, Dread, what's up? Keeping my expectations low, my Avengers fan expectations even lower. Harry, that's what I've been saying, man. Like, obviously, hope for the best, but expect the worst. And, you know, you just kind of wait and see what's going to happen, man. That's what, I mean, that's like my motto in life, right? I try to do that as best I can. Obviously, sometimes hype gets the best of me. But I think that's obviously one of the things that, you know, people should be doing, right? A wait and see approach is never a bad idea, right? But of course, you know, a little hype doesn't hurt either. As long as you know, stays in check a little bit, you know. Morphine's better than Iron Man changed my mind. Ooh. I mean, I might agree with that one, actually. I might agree with you. I feel like we should get a War Machine DLC called Armor Wars and we're hunting down multiple Iron Man villains. I feel like you just like spoiled the plot of the show. What's up though, 60 Steam? Yeah, I mean, like, if they're gonna do that, I mean, they could just like literally one for one just take the show and just like implement it into the game, you know what I mean? I have high hopes for tomorrow, but I know I won't love it too. It does, I will be surprised. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I want to see Gambit. Looking for that X-Men, eh? Honestly, I'm very ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow should be a fun day, man. I just, you know, like I said, if they nail it and they show everything that kind of gets people excited, very cool. I know it's not going to be for everyone. I know there's going to be things that, you know, obviously I want Omega level threats. I want labs. I don't expect to hear anything about that tomorrow, obviously. But if you're a Hawkeye fan, tomorrow should be a fun day. Oh, fuck. If you're like if you're a Black Panther fan, you should be kind of excited by the little teaser that we should get tomorrow. You know, but if you're looking for labs and Omega level threats like I am, probably not going to happen, unfortunately. So I mean, my expectations are in check too, right? Spider-Man fans, I'm probably going to say that's probably not going to happen either. You know, I'd be very shocked to see anything to do with Spider-Man. I know people are kind of stuck on that early 2021 thing. I just don't see it, you know. But I'd love to be proven wrong. That's my main thing in life. Prove me wrong, you know. All right, can you all just? Good lord, man. If anyone wants to queue up, by the way, feel free to add me. It's High Ruler on PlayStation. Be hanging out, playing. We'll cycle some people in and out if you want. We'll run whatever you guys want to run tonight if you guys need to do some things. Oh my god, what am I getting? Like, I am brutal tonight. I feel like every week I come on here and I'm just the most brutal individual you guys have ever seen play this game. I'm pretty sure that's probably true. That's probably true, right? Don't forget that like button, 41 people and only 10 likes. Yeah, I mean, you guys could do that. It'd be kind of cool. We're almost close to 1,000 subs, man, too, which is nuts. Thinking about like when I started this back in August. Maybe I'll wear my Star-Lord mask when we hit 1,000 subs. I'll wear my Star-Lord mask for a stream. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. Who knows? Appreciate you all hanging out, though. I want to see Clint and Nat interact more. I mean, the character interactions are something I like to see, too. I got you, Breezy. Tomo is like the transfer announcement of Bruno Nice jersey. Sleepy. Appreciate it. I think you'll get a Ronin skin, Sheldon. I think you will. What's up, Sonic? If Clint's a good move set / animation, the biome is good, I'll be happy. Black Panther would be the bomb, I guess. I think it's pretty good expectations, Morgan. I think it's pretty good. I want to see how big is the graphical jump from PS4 to PS5 is. I mean, Harry, that's a good point, man. Like I want to, like, I've been sitting on like a 4K monitor on Best Buy, and I'm like, do I want to play at 4K 60? Like, that's what I'm thinking about, right? Like, do I want to play at 4K 60? Starting, I don't know, soon. I would hope so. And the answer is like probably, right? Give me one sec, guys. Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze there. Cosmic Pistols on Widow are immaculate. Yeah, I know. My Widow is a work in progress here. I've taken a little bit of June's build, but it's definitely still a work in progress. It doesn't help too that I like trying to read chat sometimes. You know, can someone add me on Steam? I'm lonely. I've been thinking about making like a pure Avengers Discord for people who want to like group up with each other. Maybe that might be a solution to that dip. Because I know PC players are kind of out in their own little space right now with not a lot of people. I predict Wakanda reveal in some aspect of the Hawkeye DLC. That's a solid one, man. I agree. I think a lot of people here probably have the same idea. Get a new hero every 2 months would be a good schedule. The problem is the content to fill within that time. I mean, right? That's the basis of every kind of, you know, complaint, you know, for the most part, right? Is that putting a hero out every 2 months is great, but like, what do you have in the meantime to kind of fill out that content gap? And like, realistically, that should be like your bigger game modes, right? Your Omega level threats, your cloning labs. But until they nail down whatever this multiplayer bug is that they have a hard time kind of figuring out to like fix it, I mean, you're basically just playing like a game with like DLCs every 2 months without kind of, you know what I mean? Without like that proper end game scenario. Since they're going to reveal Black Panther last year, I'm guessing they'll be able to reveal it tomorrow. I mean, that's the thing. They had something ready to go for Black Panther last year. Now, depending on what's happened between then and now, is it the same thing they're going to talk about? You know, we'll have to wait and see. Avengers on Steam is pretty lonely though. Yeah. Star-Lord mask, I want to see that. Oh, John, I'll play. We can fight Abomination. I want to show up my in-progress Cosmic Thor build. All right, JJ, I'll swap you in. What are your thoughts on the civilians clip? I mean, I hope it's not a fake out. I hope the game gets a little more busy in the missions you do, right? Right now, it just doesn't feel like the world when you go into a mission doesn't really feel lively enough. Whether it's, you know, that one little Midwest town or it's the Eastern Seaboard maps, like nothing really feels alive. It all feels like a dead world that you're just traversing through. So if they're starting to add NPCs into the game world, so you're going in there and you're interacting with the world and you're playing, then I hope that's a good thing. I hope it's not a fake out. I want the world to feel alive. So when Black Panther drops, how would you do your Black Panther build? I would just wait for one of the build monsters to make a video, and I would copy it. Honestly, Jenkins, I'm not the best when it comes to builds, man. Like literally my Widow build, like I'm trying to get better, obviously. And I'm tinkering around with like Lejeune's build, like latest Black Widow build, but yeah, I'm not the guy to go for that, man. You know, I just thought about will we see Nick Fury in Hawkeye's DLC? I'd argue yes. It's weird that I can't join people. Yeah, the multiplayer is like really weird tonight. Actually, it wouldn't work for me. Imagine how confident we feel about combat characters we did about the rest of the game. True. Imagine a Square Enix game of a Guardians of the Galaxy separate game. Aiden, you're onto something there. A few years ago, there was rumors popping up about a Guardians of the Galaxy game made by Eidos. And the thing is, we haven't really heard anything about that in the last, you know, probably since 2018. But what we know is that Eidos is currently working on 4 games. So it's probably pretty easy to assume that one of them is that Guardians of the Galaxy game. I would make a bet on it. Hi, Ruler, I'm your biggest fan. Shut up, Greek. Optimus is Omega level threats. I mean, that's, yeah. I mean, I feel you, Leafy. I feel you, man. I can't find a single piece of legendary gear with attacking on surge buff to save my life. Harry, it's pretty, you gotta like grind those tachyon rifts, man. Like you gotta sit there and you gotta grind them, man. Like you gotta grind pretty hard to get them. Apparently the guy who voiced Kratos in God of War is gonna voice Black Panther. The guy who also voiced Magneto, yeah, Christopher Judge. You guys would know him. Well, some of you guys might know him as Teal'c from Stargate SG-1, man. Legendary show. Legendary show. You guys know him as Kratos. I know him as Teal'c. Legendary character, legendary actor, in my opinion. I think the next match should be Phil Rupio roaming around to give more life to the game. I agree. That's the perfect thing to do, right? I can't get over that. Brad Pitt will appear in Future Imperfect just like the Arkham games. Wait, Brad Pitt appeared in the Arkham games. But real Hawkeye drops at the stream, the Black Panther gets a release date. In a perfect world, I do agree with you. In a perfect world, I do agree with you. I think I'm really switching on whether I think Hawkeye's coming the 23rd or if he's coming like the Thursday. You know what I mean? Like they could always do a combat stream for people who like are like needing help with like their Hawkeye builds, right? So like it's not like out of the realm of possibility that maybe Hawkeye comes and it's like, oh, here's a combat stream for anyone who's still having issues getting used to like Hawkeye's trick arrows or wants tips and tricks, so on and so forth. And like Hawkeye could come to Thursday, but I'm gonna err on the side of caution here and say he's probably coming the week after at the earliest. At the earliest. I don't think we'll see BPTs tomorrow. Definitely references the DLC itself. I mean, they did tease like some Hawkeye stuff in Kate's, right? So it would make sense that they tease some Black Panther stuff. I don't think it's going to be a big thing. Like, I don't think it's going to be like, oh my God, like, you know, there's like the whole Wakanda region or whatever, right? But I think it's definitely going to be enough to get people excited. Now, however long that takes or however much they show, I think it's going to be very little, but I think it's going to be enough that people go, oh fuck, like Black Panther, like he's actually like coming soon-ish, you know what I mean? That's kind of my thoughts on it. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna get like a full kind of big reveal of Black Panther. I think we'll just get enough to kind of whet the appetite, so to speak, and get people really kind of excited about his inclusion in the game. Just left a like in the stream, but I go to sleep, Morgan. I appreciate that a lot. Hope to see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a good sleep. Thank you so much again for hanging out. Over the past week, we've come up with 4 different builds that Google do think is really useful. Yeah, JJ. Keep logging into the game, want to play, and just not knowing what to do. I mean, that's the kind of the issue that I run into, Leafy, sometimes, right? With, you know, like, I think one of the things is like, when I was looking at Lejeune's build of, like, Widow, I actually had to go and, like, figure out where the pieces dropped and then grind those missions to get the pieces that I need, right? And I think when you look at like builds, I think, and that's like the only thing we have right now, right? It's like, what kind of builds do you want to do? And then you go and source where those items come from, and then you go and like run those missions for the builds, right? And I mean, like, in essence, is that something to do? Yeah, totally. Is that really like kind of like meaningful content that we really want right now? Well, obviously not, right? So it's like kind of in a pickle, right? You can run things with the goal of building like a solid build, but without any true end game right now to really play, you're just kind of running to build, but you're not running to kind of maximize that build or really put that build to the test in new content that's challenging, right? So it's kind of like, you know, it's tough, man. It's tough, but everyone for the most part, I imagine, is going through the same thing, you know. I'll be here tomorrow for the reveal. Morgan, can't wait to see you. Love the Stargate reference. I love that series. Underrated, dude. Stargate was the best, man. For some reason, Tuesdays are their patch and update days. True. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, they give some surprises. Maybe a Fantastic Four game by Square Enix? A Fantastic Four game would be pretty cool.
What's your status?
First guy that voiced Kratos saw in a popular TV show called Living Single? Why does that ring a bell? That rings a bell. Another clue is the Cupid emo. Why did that have Clint is not dropping in February? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Oh. What if the Avengers social media team gave hints to the DLC character that Ed Boon does with Mortal Kombat? Oh, I mean, Bull just kind of put one out there. Bull just put one out there. Any intel on the game test of Square emo? What content were they testing out, do you think? Great question. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. A lot of the information that I've gotten is second and third hand. Do I know what they've been testing? No. Do I think that leaks are gonna come out from testers? More than likely. One thing that was brought to my attention actually was it seems like the first email that was sent was handled by Crystal Dynamics. The second one was handled by Square Enix. Now make of that what you will. That was brought to my attention, and I haven't really said anything about it because I don't know exactly what that means, but it's really interesting that there may be some disparity between that. So we'll have to wait and see what exactly that means. In terms of any content, I've always thought that they would be testing Black Panther content. But maybe it's too short a time window unless they're really just testing like the feel of the content. You know what I mean? Like, is this content fun? Are the rewards? Do you feel like the rewards are worth the time you're putting into this content? Is this content challenging enough for you? Right? Like stuff they could probably tweak without any sort of crazy kind of, you know, work that needs to be put into it. Right? But yeah, I mean, like, I mean, I don't know. I'm as in the dark as you guys are when it comes to a lot of that stuff. And like I said, a lot of the information that I get is second and third hand, but I always thought that once people start getting their hands on things, I would think that, you know, if people want to put their legal, you know, self in jeopardy there, they probably will leak it. And we'll just have to wait and see what comes out of that. Time zones. Wait, what? It's morning in here. It's midnight right now. I'm so tired. Oh yeah, time zones. You guys are everywhere, eh? Where are you guys from? Should I do the Andy thing and ask you guys where you're all from? We'll find out like how many of you guys are like across the world. Hawkeye's gonna use the bow and arrow. That duck. That's a good one. That's a great prediction. I feel like we're gonna get a full mini character reveal for Black Panther because he was supposed to be revealed a while back. Harry, that's a good point, man. It's possible. It's possible. I think there's going to be something Black Panther. The scale of what you get from Black Panther is going to vary by like who you ask, but I think most people would probably agree that Black Panther will get some sort of reveal. You know, what's the good exotics from a builder and Tachyon wrist and it's so annoying the drop rates are too low? Was there something on the subreddit where it was like 0.17% or something for the perfect drop for the perfect roll? That's crazy. 0.17%. What did I miss? Did we predict open explorable areas? I don't think anyone's predicted that, Swag, but I had said, wouldn't it be interesting if the Wasteland was open area? Now, I don't think it is, to be completely 100% honest with you, if it's a complete open area to explore, but it would be pretty cool if it was. Queen Latifah's into Living Single as well. How old is this show, buddy? Poor Darcy. Yeah, poor Darcy, guys. Poor Darcy. Human Torch. Right off the bat, my main would be the thing in a Fantastic Four game. It's clobbering time. Ooh, I'd be an Invisible Woman fan. I think Invisible Woman. Oh, you know what? Mr. Fantastic's really good too. Ooh, the Fantastic Four is so good. Like, how do you pick? Like, how do you pick? You know what I mean? It's super weird to split it up like that. Probably Black Panther and Gear 2.0 now. Yeah, they could be testing gear changes too. You know, getting people's thoughts on gear changes. If we're talking game testers, it's a really interesting possibility. Black Panther is my favorite character. He's been since I was a kid. I hope that Black Panther does right by the people who are big fans of him. You know what I mean? Black Panther is such a big character that I hope they really nail him. That people like look at Black Panther, they play Black Panther, they hear Black Panther, and you're like, yeah, dude, like they fucking nailed that shit. Like I think they'll nail the combat. Everything surrounding him, I hope they nail, man. It's such a big character for so many people. Such a big character. I'm in Las Vegas, unfortunately. What, Harry, how do you feel about Las Vegas as like someone who lives there, man? I always get the feeling that like people who live there don't like it as much as like the people who actually like visit, you know what I mean? Am I correct on that one? I'm from Britain? Okay. Okay. They're playing a Korean Invasion ASAP. You think the Black Order will be involved too? Ronin, Proximus, Midnight. I don't know, man. The Black Order is such a... I feel like the Black Order kind of... Ronin, probably. I would say, yeah. The Black... I don't know, man. I don't know. The Black Order. I feel like the Black Order is more tied to Thanos, no? And they've already said that like they want to stay away from Thanos. So, I mean, my comic knowledge could be totally off there. But I think Hickman started the Black Order, right? And they started them as like... and he started them as like Thanos' like henchmen almost. I'm from Britain. I'm from Earth 616. Okay. Living Single was a 90s show. You see Silver Surfer and Human Torch the most. I am a big Surfer fan, man. I would love to see Silver Surfer. Oh my god. If Silver Surfer could be added to this game, I'd be the happiest guy ever, man. I would love Silver Surfer. Like, whew, my god. Please. Indo here? Okay. You're very, very correct, John. I really miss Texas. Yeah, you know what? It's funny, man, because like everyone I know that's been to Vegas has been like, oh, I love Vegas. Like, you know, obviously they go to the Strip, they stay in like the fancy hotels, yada yada. But I've always wondered, you know what I mean? Like living in Vegas or living around Vegas, you know what I mean? Like, do people really enjoy like the sights and the sounds like when they're there all the time? You know, it must get annoying after a while, you know, like. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've personally never been to Vegas. I don't know if Vegas is like a place I would go to, you know? I feel like I would lose a lot of money in Vegas. So I don't know if I'd ever like make the time to go there. Black Order will only come with Thanos instead of trying to stay away from Thanos for now. Yeah, that's what I thought too. The Black Order would be cool though, but I think until they go back on that Thanos comment, the Black Order probably not. I think Ronin's probably a bigger bet than the Black Order would be, for sure. Am I showing my age by knowing what Living Single is? It's very possible, buddy. It's very possible that you are showing your age, my man. But that's all right, dude. That's all right. If we get Silver Surfer, Galactus needs to be the final boss. Ooh, Galactus would be super cool. Galactus would be tall task for a boss. I mean, Galactus would be like a boss I'd love to see if the game was like ending. You know what I mean? If they had like the runway to kind of end the game that they wanted. You know what I mean? You know how some games they announced like this will be like the final DLC? If they had the like the warning that like, hey guys, like whatever your next thing is, or like plan for like 3 more things, and your third one is going to be the end one. And if they did Galactus, you know, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. Fantastic Four would be great because the thing would be similar to Hulk, Invisible would be similar to Black Widow, Mr. Fantastic would be similar to Kamala, but Human Torch is another story. True. I mean, there is a little bit of similarities that they could probably lean on in the development process if like assets were shared between like, you know, if this was falling under like a Square Enix umbrella, I mean, assets could be shared. You know what I mean? Hello? Yo, Variathis Warrior, how you doing? Welcome. Dip, I saw that, dude. I saw that, Dip. What are you most excited for in regards to next gen? Probably 4K 60. I think I'm gonna pull the trigger on a 4K monitor tomorrow to play Avengers. So I think for me personally, 4K 60. Obviously, the controller, like doing like the crazy functions with the controller, obviously is gonna be pretty cool. But personally speaking, 4K 60 is probably what I'm most excited for. It's very annoying to actually live here because people don't know how to drive. Every place for this trip is mediocre food, and you're constantly surrounded by trash, dirt, and rocks. Ah, that sucks, Harry. That sucks, man. That's what I thought. You know, you like confirmed my suspicions, but yeah, that sucks, bro. I'm sorry. I think Secret Invasion would be cool. Secret Invasion would be cool. Secret Invasion would be really cool. All right, I don't know what these guys want to do, considering they're like super low level. Should I play my Thor and play like low level guys? My Thor's only 98. You guys can't make fun of me for him, all right? Can't bully me for my low level Thor. And we'll just run something. Do you think we can see some skins based on other Square Enix Crystal Dynamics? Oh fuck no, 60s. Probably not, man. I think the conversation around skins has been so dominated by like recolors and by kind of their interpretations of like certain skins that I think if they totally stepped out of the Marvel mythos, I think people would absolutely lose their shit. So like, yeah, like I don't think we'll ever see like a Lara Croft skin for like Black Widow. I think like right now with the community as it is, I think any sort of fun idea like that is probably just not in the cards. Given the current state of the game and the current state of the conversation around the skins. No. I don't think it'd be a bad idea. I think if there's like a big anniversary, like if Crystal Dynamics had like an anniversary coming up and they were like, hey guys, for like an anniversary, we're going to bring a special Lara Croft skin that's free to all players for Black Widow. Maybe you could make that work somehow. But I think I think they need to kind of rehabilitate the image of the skins. They need to rehabilitate the image of the game. And then you can start implementing fun things like that. But until they get to that point, it's probably just not in the cards at all. Is it possible here in Canada to find a PS5? I came in to get one and curious how next gen looks in this game. Sheldon, I mean, like, my friends are in the same kind of boat, man. They just can't find a PS5 right now. I was super lucky in pre-ordering one after the announcement. But, I mean, yeah, like, my friends are literally in the same kind of boat. They just can't find one. They literally just can't find one. It turns out some of the characters we were playing are actually Skrulls. That'd be kind of cool. All right, I don't think these guys know what they're doing, so we're just going to leave. And we're going to switch back to Widow, and we'll just set up a quick match. When Phil said Clint comes with multiplayer missions, I think he just meant co-op missions, not new multiplayer. Yeah, I think people took that the wrong way, too. I think it just means, like you can play the similar to what Kate was. You can just play that stuff multiplayer. I don't think it means like there's any sort of crazy new multiplayer stuff coming. I think it just means like if you liked kind of the structure of Kate's, you'll probably like the structure of Clint's DLC as well. You might hope you're well jumped in and finished off Kate's card. I headed the Cape to talk, so thought the night skin was cool. Yo, Syrian, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, dude. Yeah, I mean, like I said it. I said the night skin was like, you know, for a reuse of assets and kind of prettying them up. The night skin was fine. It was just the conversation around the night skin that kind of muddied the reception to it. I think like the night skin probably could have been handled better. Probably could have not been talked about at all, and people probably would have not been as upset. But I think the kind of the expectation that was laid out was like, oh, Iron Man with a cape. Regardless of like you know, who's right or wrong in that point, like of what the expectation was. I think when you set expectations, you know, you got to be very careful about what you talk about, right? And I said that. I said, you know, considering the lack of information that's out there, I said any sort of information you put out there into the wild, you have to really put it through a fine-tooth comb and really make sure that you're not, you know, muddying the waters a little bit here. Way down the line, T-Boost when the Creature Ross like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I mean, I'm open to almost any character that they can think of that they want to put in, you know? I'm not picky. Yo, Kevin, how you doing, man? What's going on, man? So yeah, I mean, yeah, the night skin for what it was is fine, reuse of assets. But yeah, I mean, I like the night skin. My only critic is the chest piece, but it looks, yeah, that's what I've heard too. I haven't really looked at the chest piece. Obviously, I think the chest piece looks really big. If they like shrunk that down and maybe made it a different kind of like, I don't know, but it definitely is like really big. I wish instead of a sword they gave Hawkeye that bow staff the end Captain America Civil War to make that difference greater between him and Kate. That would have been really cool. That really, I think they're just leaning on Ronin like really hard though, which I think that's why. If they weren't leaning on Ronin so hard for his melee stuff and they actually use that, I think it's one of those things where it's like a catch either way, right? Do you give him the bow staff, and like, do you make people who want Ronin skills or melee abilities like upset, or you go Ronin, but then like the conversation is how similar are those two characters, right? I think either way you're kind of caught in a situation that you really have to like very carefully navigate your way out of. But I think the bow staff would have been cool. I'm gonna have to relearn how to play this game again when I do get back to playing it, buddy. That's literally all I'm doing, man. I'm literally just trying to relearn how to play it. Relearn how to play it and like re-chat at the same time, which is I'm a little rusty on that regard too. Yeah, you're right. When there's no content, we'll get a side hub. Yeah, and I mean, like, that's just the way it is. Like, that's just like the nature of the business, right? When there's not really anything being said, when there's not really anything new coming, the kind of the way it works is like you say anything and people are going to put that under a microscope and they're really going to look at it and try to, and in a lot of ways find stuff that maybe you don't intend to be there, but maybe they see that is there, right? I think it's just like a lesson learned at this point more than anything. It's a lesson learned. I need the Unworthy Thor outfit to come back. Yeah, Unworthy Thor, personally King Hulk. Yeah, there's a lot of skins. Like I said, I think the marketplace is really not doing what they want it to do, and I really think they need to change up strategies on it. And I think if they changed up the strategy on the marketplace, we wouldn't see all the conversations surrounding it that we do. It would just be better because people could buy the skins they want when they want. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have to wait every week for Unworthy Thor to come back. You could just like buy it. And I think they really need to look at that. Just personal thoughts on it though. Personal thoughts on it. As I say, I don't have all the answers. I like to think I have some of them. Maybe. Maybe. Damn, Arkham Knight requires at least 55 gigabytes. What a pain. Are the Arkham games... Okay, guys. For anyone who's played the Arkham games, I imagine, like, if you guys are, like, superhero fans, you maybe have dabbled in them. Before Gotham Knights comes out later this year, should I go back and play the Arkham games? Should I? It was actually nice feeling like I was completing challenges instead of just abusing the harm room for once. Yeah, like I said, there's two sides of the harm room discussion, too. Like I said, I didn't use the harm room for my challenges, but I definitely understand the conversation that some people were putting out there that, you're taking away stuff from people without really giving us anything or really adding anything to the game. I understand that argument too. Like I said, there's kind of two sides to how that shapes up, and I'm okay with kind of listening to the one side, even if I don't engage in the activities they do, because I think those people still have a valid point that I was trying to signal boost for them. In hopes that like a greater conversation can take place about making changes too prematurely. Because like I said, I think the harm room stuff is part of a greater strategy adjustment to the harm room. But I think the problem is that they're making changes too early and without communicating what these changes are going to lead into, right? So we know that they're looking into the harm room stuff, right? We know that they're kind of looking at implementing new things for the harm room, right? But I think they need to communicate that more when they start making changes wholesale to the way people use the harm rooms currently. Because like without kind of like educating people about why these changes are taking place, even if it's in a live stream, right? It's in a live stream. Maybe it's like a 5-second comment, but not everyone's going to read or kind of listen to that stream. Not everyone's going to go and read the information that's put out there. So when you make a change like that in the patch notes, you should be also educating the players why that change is taking place and what kind of future plans you're looking into. Even if it's something vague, like instead of future restructuring, hey guys, we're looking at implementing new changes to the harm room to kind of invite new ways for players to engage in that content. Because of this, we're making this change right now, but rest easy that this change will lead into some greater harm room mechanics in the future, right? Boom, done. I mean, I don't know. I'm here. I don't know how long this power outage sucks. Yo, Cage, you're good, man. I know the Texas thing is like crazy right now, dude. If you guys are in like the south or like Midwest or whatever, you guys are getting crazy snow right now, man. Stay safe, guys. I know you guys don't get that crazy weather there often, so I know Texas is taking the brunt of it, man. So stay safe out there, buddy. And for anyone else out there. Thoughts on why Crystal has only used a handful of weapons from the common instead of using all of them and spend more knowing I can buy Hydra Cap armor? It's just development and resource time, man. That's really all it comes down to. I think it's just resource time, and it's just a matter of how fast they can kind of take our feedback and implement it. I mean, regardless of how we feel, their strategy seemingly was revolving around a small set of outfits with small set of recolors and kind of making use of those recolors to kind of make up the weekly rotation, right? The feedback has been negatively associated with that, but it takes time to kind of take that feedback and then pick comic outfits out, or even working out the licensing for the MCU stuff and then implementing that into like a monetization strategy, right? We all don't want, for most of us, we don't want recolors to be in there, right? If you're going to do recolors, either buy the one skin, you get all the recolors free, or, you know, make the recolors a part of like a challenge card, to make the recolors a part of like earning the skin, or those vendors that seemingly haven't been updated since like the start of the game. But it just takes time, unfortunately. And right now, it's seemingly things are taking more time than we as players want them to, unfortunately. And it's just, unfortunately, it's just the reality of the world that we're living in right now with them. Not saying you have to agree with it or be happy with it, but it just kind of is the reality of what it is. And, you know, as much as I want new skins, Hydra Cap included, Superior Iron Man included, you know what I mean? It's just, we just have to wait and see. Game desperately needs an update on trouble with matchmaking internet discount. Thor bugs need to be fixed. Yeah, matchmaking was a little funky tonight for me at the start. I know B-Dog Breezy was saying his stuff was a little funky too. And if I'm not mistaken, people were saying after the update, matchmaking and multiplayer stuff was a little more funky, right? Considering the patch notes said like something about like optimization and multiplayer fixes. From what I'm hearing, it doesn't really seem that way. Legit question, what's the point of the outpost? Wouldn't it be better to have a single place where you can do everything sort of like Destiny social? Yeah, I mean, Juan, you're 100% correct on that, man. Too many places to go. I understand like kind of why they had like maybe like the Chimera and then like the Anthill, right? Like thematically in their story it made sense. And then like, you know, right now, you know, most people I think go to the Shield Substation Zero because everything is there. But if they introduce another place to go, like another hub, I mean, at this point, you're just putting too many hubs in the game, and at this point, you should probably start looking at kind of moving away from them. I know some people may disagree with that, but from like a game standpoint, you know, what's the point of 5-6 hubs? And at this point, it could be 4. You know, hopefully they kind of, and I know they've talked about like a multiplayer hub. Like I don't know how they would make that work. I know Phil's talked about it. I believe, I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what their plans are for hubs, or what they're planning. Too many hubs or too many. But I mean, Destiny got that wrong too, right? I mean, remember the farm, right? You know what I mean? Like, we'll have to wait and see. I think Wakanda will get a hub. But you know, other than that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. If you want to know how Batman disappears, you don't need to play Arkham Knight. Maybe watch the final boss fight and any cutscene. Okay, interesting. I think I am gonna play it though, Sheldon. I think I should play it, but I always hear people talk about like how good it is or whatever, and then some people say it's not too good. I always like to get people's opinions, you know. Obviously, you know, get some reactions. You know, we are on YouTube. We got to get those reactions. I wouldn't say they're necessary to play Gotham Knight as a co-op game where there's solo, as well as different story canon. Most actually games were Arkham Combat anyway, so you know how to play. It's true. Okay. I can't wait for Black Panther. Can't wait for Black Panther. Mostly of them Spider-Man I really want. I really want Spider-Man 2, man. I really want Spider-Man 2. I think there's a lot of apprehension with Spider-Man and how they're going to implement them. And once again, like, it's just a matter of, like, I hope they do well, you know? It's not easy going after Insomniac's kind of Spider-Man games, you know what I mean? Like, those games are some pretty high tier, and I know Spider-Man fans are pretty rabid in how they are, so it should be interesting, you know what I mean? Spider-Man is going to be a really interesting case of what happens with him, and I'm really interested to see what they do, both in terms of the combat, the swinging, if they implement any bosses, how they handle that with the other platforms. You know, there's a lot there that you have to unpack when you talk about Spider-Man. And yeah. Dallas, Texas, we got hit. Well, Vegas gets the snow. So is it just Texas that got hit by all the snow then? Update, every character's become monkey. Yeah, monkey. Little King Kong. Marketplace usually don't want to make any money. I think it's just a matter of they initially thought their strategy was going to work, and they really thought that like recolors would work, without really thinking that, like, you know, people don't want recolors. They want like things they see in the comics. They want things they see in the movies, right? They want things, you know, they'll eventually see in the TV shows, right? Yeah, I mean, obviously their strategy for the most part probably hasn't done as well as they probably thought they have, and I think that's probably, whoa, that's a lag. And one of the things they definitely have seen probably is like the overwhelming feedback on the marketplace. Like I said, I think it should be changed so that it's every skin's out there available all the time, and you know, you don't have to wait a week to get your Unworthy Thor if you want Unworthy Thor, right? I think that would make people happy. This is crazy laggy right now, guys. Whew. Ain't my internet. I think hubs allow them to put other side characters in the game if they are NPCs. Good. Yeah, that's a good point. I just wonder like how much development time that goes towards that. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's a great point, and I'm not trying to dismiss it. I'm just trying to think of like maximizing their efficiency there of like development time. You know what I mean? But I definitely do agree that it definitely is a way to put other characters that like for them as like side characters or NPCs to get some screen time. I'm just trying to think if that is, you know, like, is that worth it? And maybe for some people it is, you know? I get that what you can't play is same heroes during missions, but that's still an excuse why we can't have a social hub where we can't hang out and actually make use of emotes, meet new players, etc. Well, if what they say is true, that they're looking into kind of everyone can play whatever character they want regardless of like the party makeup, it would make then sense to kind of introduce like a multiplayer hub that kind of allows people to play whatever character they want, right? I don't know how receptive they are to that idea of like making anyone like allowing anyone to play any character they want. I know I'm more open to it, you know. I don't necessarily care for like you know, people just playing one character. If a group wants to run 4 Captain Americas, yeah, I mean, like, go for it, you know what I mean? I think if they move forward with that idea, then I think that opens itself up to like a multiplayer hub, simply due to the fact that, like, you know, you can have as many people in that hub as you want, and there's no like lore restrictions or canon restrictions or like, you know what I mean? At that point, there's no there's no restrictions on that kind of implementation of a hub at that point. What hero would you want into the game that wasn't any release way back when? I've always said Silver Surfer, Josh. I've always said Silver Surfer would be like my pie in the sky, you know, kind of pick. I think Silver Surfer is a lot of fun. I think he'd be a really cool character. Was Namor in the leaks? I can't remember. There was like 18 characters. So you guys are gonna have to forgive me if he was in there and I forget. Because Namor would be pretty cool too. Like an Atlantis biome would be kind of cool, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Quicksilver would be kind of cool. Blade's a good one. I know lots of people are going to want Blade when that new movie comes out. Lots of Blade fans are going to be popping up very shortly, I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people have, like, you know, obviously I hear a lot of Moon Knight, hear a lot of Daredevil. Lots of people out there for those kind of street level characters. Kevin Conroy. Little Batman. Hope they don't mess up Spider-Man. When does Black Panther come out? I don't know if we'll find out when Black Panther comes out. I think we'll get a little bit of a Black Panther teaser. I don't know. I would say probably. I think I've kind of talked about like late April into May would probably be like a Black Panther release. I think if you're looking to make a bet, you could probably put money on May or like June and probably be safe with that kind of bet. I'm just being very optimistic in my guess, but I think probably like June you might be all right with, but I'm gonna try and say like late April, early May, because I'm a sucker for getting my hopes crushed, I guess. But in terms of like confirmation, yeah, we won't know. We don't know. Blade? I love for Ghost Rider to be in Midnight Suns too. Ghost Rider would be a sick one. I didn't even think about Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is a character that I don't really think about too often. Because every time I think about Ghost Rider, I think of Nicolas Cage, and I see his like morphine laughing face in my head. What was that, Ghost Rider 2, where it's like morphine? And then that's all I see, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, never mind. Never mind. Ghost Rider could be very cool, though. I think that'd be a very cool character. What's up, man? Yo, love the channel. Yo, Jalid, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. You guys show me a lot of love with this channel, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching the videos and doing all sorts of crazy stuff, man. You guys are crazy. I appreciate all the love. Love Silver Surfer, but judging on Iron Man, Thor, is speed too slow? Yeah, I mean, like that could be an issue too, right? That could be an issue. I kill for Daredevil in the game. I don't know how likely that is. Yeah, I don't know. Iron Fist? Oh, an Iron Fist fan. Wow. Urban Widowmaker, what's up, man? How you doing? Isn't Black Panther the next DLC after Hawkeye? Yes. Yes. You are 100% correct, Shane. We just don't know when after it'll be. You know what I mean? Think of the Robbie Reyes version. Dude, the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. version was really good. You know what I mean? Like, that was actually a version I enjoyed. I actually really enjoyed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So if they did the Robbie Reyes version, I mean, even if they do, like it doesn't matter which version of Ghost Rider they do. It's just when I think of Ghost Rider right now, you're right, though. Think of Robbie Reyes. I just think of Nick Cage. He was awesome in the latest Terminator movie, by the way. Can any Terminator movie be awesome anymore? No, I'm just kidding. He was, man. That was the one with what was the character's name? Danny. And then there's like the big fight, and like they go into like the turbine or whatever. Yeah, that was a pretty good movie. That was a pretty good movie. Here's hoping for the best news. Here's hoping. Are you planning on the weekly recap Stardust vid every week? Yes, Leafy. So the only thing is it probably will be released. So for anyone who watched the latest video with Stardust, that is going to be a weekly thing. The only issue is I work Saturday night. So Stardust and I are going to get together Sunday morning in hopes that I can get that video out to you guys Sunday afternoon. Because we recorded it on Saturday. I worked on it Saturday evening, and then I headed out on like yesterday afternoon. But the goal is that I'm going to like work like a madman on Sunday, and we're going to record. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to upload it, and then it's going to go out hopefully Sunday afternoon. We're coming back this week unexpectedly is kind of messed my schedule up a little bit. Kind of messed it up a little bit. If that X-Men needs to be expansion just to get a few major X-Men out at once, I would love to see the X-Men, man. I don't know. As much as I would love to see the X-Men, I'm so wary of like putting that hope into people's heads, you know? Is anyone looking forward to Captain Marvel? I really rock with her, to be honest. Yeah, Captain Marvel's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to a Captain Marvel implementation. I think a lot of people will be once Captain Marvel kind of gets out there and kind of, you know, we see some powers, we see some biomes, we see some skills. Like, I think Captain Marvel will definitely be a character that people will want to play just because of how powerful she's going to be. Definitely think, you know, heads are going to turn when Captain Marvel gets out there. Wonder how different Hawkeye would be from Kate Bishop. Different enough that it won't be like playing the same character. I mean, there's gonna be similarities, so you're obviously gonna see some things that maybe remind you of each other. But I think if you like Kate, you'll probably like Hawkeye. But they're gonna be different. Nick Cage played a good Ghost Rider. The script just sucked. Yeah, I mean, like I don't have anything against him. I always picture his like face morphine. I finished Red Dead 2, so hopefully the wait for Hawkeye isn't long or for Black Panther afterwards. I mean, I hope, like I said, if it's not a week after, they're really messing up. They're really messing up. Stardust sounds a little like Tom Holland. I've seen a lot of people say that. I didn't hear it the first time. I'm gonna have to go back and listen, but I've heard that. Black Panther costume with the cape in the game would be interesting. I think you'll get like your classic Black Panther costumes, like the stuff you probably think about. And then you'll get like their interpretation of like what they're looking to do with him. But I think you'll get the classic ones that you guys more associate with the character, including probably one with a cape. Monica Rambeau DLC? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, dude. Well, Square Enix at movie suits of the game, please let me know. Hamza, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think the issue with the I think the issue with the movie suits is licensing, right? So when they talked about the game, they always kind of talked about they've licensed like 80 years of like Marvel Comics history. They never really talked about the MCU, and I believe that's due to like a different licensing deal that they never secured, because I don't think they really thought about doing MCU suits. I mean, which it seems like, I think I'm more right than wrong on this one. So I think when they talk about doing MCU stuff, I think they need to secure a licensing deal with Marvel Games to bring those suits in. So that's kind of where it stands right now. We'll have to wait and see how that progresses, but that's kind of where things are. Unless you like Captain Marvel with the MCU, that's fine. You know, the comics Captain Marvel have never been on Hulk or Thor's level. I think Captain Marvel is stronger than Hulk. I mean, I don't really care for the power level, essentially. I just want her to be a fun character. If she's a fun character with like fun, like kind of powers and kind of things that she can do, then I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Just give me fun characters more than anything. As long as she's fun. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, she's gonna be, you know, if someone builds a one-shot build for her, right? You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, right? Just make a character that's fun more than anything. I wouldn't really judge like power level based off of video games. You're seeing like one-shot builds out of a Black Widow, for example, right? Like, at the end of the day, like, you know what I mean? Like, a little bit of suspension of disbelief when it comes to power levels are probably needed in that regard. Thanks for letting me know. Really appreciate it. Yeah, dude. Of course. Of course. I will do my best to answer any question with the knowledge that I possess. Even if it's something I think you guys don't want to know. Which I'm sure a lot of you guys might be disappointed about the MCU suits. I know I am. I know I am. Which Claw are we going to get, the MC version or the comic version? I would imagine comic book because of the lights. See what do you think? As far as I know about Claw, and what I know about Claw is very little, but as far as I know, based on kind of the descriptions of some of the encounters you're going to get with Claw, it's the comic book one. It won't be the MCU one. It's going to be the comic book one. I don't think the movie one ever turned himself into like sound waves or whatever. This one, like, you know what I mean? Like, this Claw apparently is going to be pretty wild to fight. Marvel's been a hog. There's the one she goes supernova strong based on the right. She's not on their level. I was talking about how Steven makes her the strongest. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if any of that stuff really matters to like the video game, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Like I said, when you start seeing Black Widow kind of one-shot people with the build, I think power levels go out of the conversation a little bit. Legion's gonna be the guy that makes that one-shot build? Yeah, probably. He probably is gonna be the one that makes that build. And I'm gonna shamelessly steal it. And just not look as good doing it. That's probably what's gonna happen. Because that's what I do. I shamelessly steal his builds. Don't tell him though. I tweet at him on Twitter telling him I'm gonna steal his builds, and he doesn't reply to me anymore. What a bully. He has a weird looking helmet. Which one? Who's got the weird looking one? Oh, Claw? I'm not worried about story or combat / character kits. They prove going to do really well. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure that's going to be fine. You know what I mean? Regardless of the character, I think the combat's going to be fine. The one thing that I always like, I do want them is like gear. And we'll have to see what Gear 2.0 brings out, you know? But I mean, like, that's, I'm not too worried about that stuff. I'm more worried about content. Like, content for me is like the biggest worry. Everything else is kind of secondary and tertiary to the combat conversation. If they, I may be in the minority on this one, but if they brought out more content and more online repeatable fun content, you know what I mean, Omega level threats, so on and such forth, obviously I think I'd be okay if the character releases kind of like slow down a little bit in trade-off with the in trade-off for content. But I might be in the minority on that one. I know characters are like the biggest draw, obviously, so I might be in the minority on that one, to be honest. I want Blue Marvel or Sentry. Trip, I hear a lot of that, actually. I have a friend that says he would become a whale for this game if Blue Marvel or Sentry ever came to this game, and he was the only one until this moment, dude. It's crazy. There's two of you now. There's two of you. It's crazy. It's the game as a service and getting content in lieu of FOMO and grinds. Yeah, for sure. I think Captain Marvel will come once the Kree War actually starts. I mean, that's probably a good call there. I think once the game goes a little more cosmic, then you'll see Captain Marvel will obviously make a play into the game. And I think that's probably the safe pick on that one. Content is key to keep the player base. Yeah. Content is more important than characters because disappointing new characters have nothing to do. True. I know. Just know there's a lot of people who talk about characters all the time. You know, they talk about they want this character, they want that character, and sometimes I feel like I'm like spoiling their parade a little bit when I say like I just want content. You know what I mean? So I mean, like, there's two sides of that argument. Which, I mean, there's two sides to almost every argument you can make with this game. And sometimes I end up on the side of the argument that gets me in trouble a little bit. But I mean, yeah, I think if they promised some content and they said like, hey, to bring out this content, we have to take a step back from some character releases, I'd probably be okay with it. But I know there's a lot of people who probably wouldn't be. You know what I mean? So it's a delicate balancing act that like you have to like, they have to like take every single step that they make. It's such a delicate balancing act. So we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, I know sometimes I say things that get me in trouble because it's the unpopular opinion. I want Blue Marvel too. There's literally 3 of you guys now who want Blue Marvel. Literally 3 of you guys. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'll play Hawkeye mission to do a challenge card, but then one. I mean, Leafy, that's you know, that's the problem. I said this back when Kate came out too. I said there's gonna be like a hangover. You know, people get excited for Kate, right? You get excited, you play it, and then day after, you know what I mean? Like it's like whoosh, and like that's the problem, right? And so like, with that being said, is Hawkeye gonna be more of the same? I hope not. I hope there's something there. I hope they have a surprise about Omega level threats that they've been keeping under wraps, you know, waiting for like an update so they can bring it out. Am I going to hold my breath on that one? Probably not, but you know, it would be the perfect moment if they've figured out the bug and they're like, yeah, guys, we figured out the bug. So here it is. Like, here's Cloney Labs. It's a little late, but better late than never, I guess, right? I don't know, man. How many new skill trees do you need to get make it for each character in the future be last that long? That's a great question, man. I'm not entirely sure. I've always said that, like, I was actually having this conversation the other day because I had a buddy who was talking about how Kate looks way better than the original 6. And I said, like, eventually, like, the original 6 should get a passover in art. Just like I would think the original 6 would get a passover in, like, skills too, right? Because I think at some point, and I think we see this with a lot of games. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but it seems like in a lot of games, like the newest characters come out and they usually have like stuff that like the development team has learned how to do, or there's just more to them. So they end up feeling a little more OP than the original ones. So then the original characters have to get like a combat tune or a skill tune, or like even a damage tune at some point to kind of bring them up to par with like your new characters. But if they can keep everything balanced, I don't think that would happen right away. But I do think we'll definitely see new skill trees. It's just a matter of time. I think their focus is right now bringing out this new content, new characters, which means like the older guys right now probably won't see any love probably for the rest of the year, because it seems like they're just focusing on getting all their new content out. But I think eventually, you know, if the game, like I said, if the game does well this year, it makes it into like a 2022, you'll probably see some sort of combat skill update for the characters. But I wouldn't hold your breath on anything this year, no. Maybe the Black Panther teaser gets up hyped. I mean, I hope their Black Panther teaser fucking kicks ass. Gara Flores hot though, not gonna lie. Wait, who's that? Oh, is that the actress in the new Black Panther movie? Florence or whatever her name is? Wonder what Hawkeye's traversal will be. I've heard an idea floated that Hawkeye's traversal is like an arrow. It's like a grapple arrow. Like you fire the arrow and then it like whoosh, and it pulls you to it or some crazy shit. I've heard that, and I was like, yeah, like that could be kind of cool. We'll see. I mean, that's a cool idea. I've heard that floated. I'd like to see a version of the Dark Avengers turn up in the future. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Captain Marvel's not weak, but in all out Drago fight, she'll lose against Hulk, Thor, and Sentry. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really keep up with power levels, man. I don't know if it's just me. I like power level stuff to me. Like, you know, I've had conversations in like my Twitch chat before of like Goku versus Superman, and like it's just like I just tune out of it, man. I know some people really love that stuff, but personally, I'm just like personally, I just like power level stuff. I'm just yeah. I don't know. I want Isaiah's skin and Josiah Bradley isn't fuck. I just like mispronounce his name, but Josiah Bradley, isn't he gonna be? This might be spoilers actually. Isn't he gonna be in Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I don't know, bro. Thor been a dog since the beginning, bro. Thor seemingly is like the best one. No, if you build Thor correctly, seems like Thor is like the best character. I could be wrong though. I don't know what the build monsters are saying. Honestly, some power creep might be good in the new heroics and skills for the OG6. I think you're right, Leafy. I think a little power creep can be good because then it raises like the expectation of what you're expecting. I think it raises the expectation of what you want out of the original 6 as well. So I don't disagree that a little power creep can be good. You just don't want it to get out of hand, right? Because then instead of bringing just the original 6 up, then you're bringing Kate up, and then you're bringing Clint up, and then do you need then after Black Panther, right? Do you need to bring Black Panther up now, right? So then it's like a forever chase. So they need to like outline like, and I'm sure they probably have done this. They need to outline like some hard kind of walls that their characters are in and that the characters can't really breach. I've always been a fan of like buffing instead of nerfing though, but I think Kate was like a good example of like a character that does something a little differently without kind of breaking the mold of the game. Hopefully Clint is a little more. When do you think Hawkeye released? The 23rd, George. I think it's Deep Dive Tuesday, Combat Stream Friday, and I think it's Hawkeye on the 23rd. Isaiah's gonna be in Falcon, which I don't know if it's. Oh, okay, yeah, I could have gotten it wrong, buddy. I could have gotten it wrong. I probably did get it wrong, to be honest with you. I just remember hearing the name Bradley, and Bradley was gonna be in Falcon the Winter Soldier, so that makes sense. I probably just got it wrong. That's my fault. My fault. I meant dog and a go. Oh yeah. No, then you're 100% right, man. Thor is like the best one, I would think, based on what I've seen. But once again, I'm not like an expert on like in-game kind of numbers and builds and whatnot. But just kind of what I've seen, what people have been doing. I mean, Thor you could probably leave untouched for a while and just kind of let him go.
Resistance intel has identified the location of another.
All right.
AIM appears to be in the area.
If I could get over there, perfect.
And recover its resources before our enemies have a chance.
Get all my blues out of the way. What do you think Winter Soldier will play like? Ooh, good question. Winter Soldier is probably going to be a very ranged character. You'll probably have like an arsenal of things, grenades. You'll have like a grenade launcher. I think if you like ranged characters, you'll probably see a cool ranged the kind of specialization from him. But I think he'll definitely hit like a truck too. A little bit of cap. But I think it'll definitely be more ranged and kind of the utilization that he'll have. But I think Winter Soldier is probably one of those characters that I think I'm probably more excited for, just because I like those like grounded characters a little more than anything, right? Like I play with Black Widow a lot. I think Black Widow's a lot of fun. I play a lot of Captain America. I think Captain America's a lot of fun. So I think when it comes to like a character like Winter Soldier, he probably gets me more excited than probably than anyone else actually. That's why Sam saying the line lock baggage comes with the shield in his trailer. Yeah, that trailer was so good. That's going to be such an amazing show, man. That's going to be such an amazing show. I can't wait for that one. I'm loving WandaVision right now, don't get me wrong. But Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to hit different, I think. Going to hit different. Red Guardian DLC would be cool, though. I mean, I feel like Red Guardian is going to get a lot of fans once Black Widow finally releases. Whatever that day comes. Red Guardian would be pretty cool. Any thoughts on the future of the game? In like the shortest way I can put it, man, I've always said 2021 if they really do well with 2021, I think 2022 is probably in a good spot. I think if 2021 doesn't really hit well with like numbers, with financials, if they're not really bringing in and retaining more players, if they're not really bringing in and retaining, you know, more money, the revenue doesn't go up, then probably 2022 is the scaled back version of the game, or maybe development just doesn't go forward. So we'll have to wait and see. But I've always said, like, this year's probably a lock in terms of if you're looking for like an Avengers game for 2021, this is probably it. It's like afterwards, you know, that you really need to start looking at what happens. But I mean, without really, it's so tough to say, man, because like you still got to get through this year. You know, I don't think the game's going anywhere in like the next 6 months. I don't think the game's going anywhere before the end of the year. So it's just a matter of just kind of waiting and seeing where the year goes, you know. Or like I said, if the game doesn't do well, we're all going to be playing Future Revolution next year anyways, right? So you might as well wait and see what kind of happens at this point.
Nice work. Looks clear for now.
Last year episode of WandaVision going to be an hour long. Yeah, I've heard that. I think Charles Murphy kind of reported that a long time ago. And I mean, I hope so. It's getting good. It's getting good. Will they release the DLC of the DI plus War Machine, which is character than any story? So what I know about War Machine, Prime, I can give you a little bit of what I know about War Machine. So what I know about War Machine, and I'm gonna quote Miller on this one, and I hope he doesn't hate me for it, because I think he's talked about this on his stream too. So I think I'm okay to regurgitate this information. Seemingly, what's gone on with War Machine is War Machine at one point was in development. And then seemingly they took a lot of the stuff from War Machine. They put it into Iron Man in development. So right now War Machine is like half a character in the files. Now I don't know if he's seen anything recently. Most of this was like kind of like a month ago that he kind of talked about this, and then whenever the last time he was in the files. So I don't necessarily know where War Machine is at. I just know that's where he was. Who said she was stronger? I think he's referencing like the Kevin Feige comment. I think that's what Harry's referencing, if I'm not mistaken. Strength scaling and power scaling is not for everyone, but we need to some degree because Hulk is all based around strength. I mean, I don't disagree, but I think in a video game that has based on gear, I think like your base levels of like your power scaling is like there, of course, but I think at some point like power scaling also comes at, you know, you also need to balance gameplay around power scaling, right? Which is why you don't see Hulk just like kind of tearing through everything, right? So with regards to like the greater conversation of like power in the game or whatnot, I don't think talking about power scaling in the way that like you could do about comics or movies really applies to the same level here, simply because there's an implemented factor of gameplay that you need to account for that some of these other things don't necessarily account for, right? You know, if these characters could really be scaled up to like what they were, you know, then maybe you can make a conversation and have a conversation about who would theoretically be stronger. But when you take these characters to like their true kind of form, regardless of who is stronger, you're kind of neglecting like the gameplay aspect of it. And that is always going to be paramount in my mind, you know. I've had this conversation months ago when people were complaining about Hulk and like Hulk dies too easy or whatever, right? And that, you know, you need to do a balancing act for the gameplay as well, and like not just the gameplay, like kind of playing within a team and playing for like against villains and like reward scaling and everything with that. So no, I definitely see what you guys are saying about like Captain Marvel, Hulk, Thor, Blue Marvel Century or whatever. I just don't know if those conversations necessarily apply in the same way when you talk about a video game, I guess. Hey, bro, where can I watch the Hawkeye live stream tomorrow? Yeah, man. So Hawkeye live stream will be, well, it's not going to be a live stream. So they're going to be doing it on their YouTube channel, which is Play Avengers. And then it's going to be a direct to upload video. So it's just going to be a video, no live stream of it. But if you want to come back, I'll be doing a live stream here where I'm going to be talking about it, covering it with you guys. And we're going to be kind of talking about it for like, you know, probably from 12:45 till about, we'll probably say like 1:45, 2 o'clock maybe. And we'll be doing that as well going on tomorrow. So speaking of Miller, what did you think about his lease last night? Yeah, I mean, like, he literally drops this as I'm going to bed. So I mean, I'm gonna fight him. Obviously, when COVID's over and him and I go for a beer, I'm gonna fight him. But no, I mean, like, he seemingly is getting back into the Elite game a little bit there. I'm excited to see what else he has. So we'll have to wait and see what else he's got cooking up. He always has stuff cooking, but then he waits to kind of leak it for like the best moment. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll have to wait and see what else he has kind of under wraps. Look at how you feel with the game, John, but the movie's a different, disappointing story. Oh yeah, I mean, like, everyone has their own opinions about the movie. I don't know. I always just view as like, is it a fun movie? If it's a fun movie, the rest I really don't care about. I'm like pretty easy. Like, I've getting a lot of harp on this about a lot of people where like I'm not really too particular about movies or whatever. If I can sit down and enjoy a movie and have some fun, the rest of it I don't really particularly care about, but I know some people do. Thank you so much for explaining that clearly for everyone. Day one Hulkman, so it's hard to me explain why I was okay with being staggered in this game. Yeah, it's a conversation around like staying true to the lore, but like being able to implement that correctly in a video game. You know what I mean? Like, it's really tough, man, because everyone wants their character to feel like what they do in the comics, right? Like you want your character to be ripped out of the comics, and kind of just be able to do all the crazy shit that you see. But I think, in regards to that, you definitely need to take into account, like, it's a video game and you need, like, you know what I mean? Bosses scaling, rewards scaling, gear scaling. You know what I mean? We're already seeing one-shot builds and, like, people are already tired of one-shot builds, right? Imagine if you didn't need, like, a build to, like, one-shot or whatever. You're playing the Hulk. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, it's like, once again, like, and I keep repeating myself here, but it's a delicate balancing act when you take like a comic book like IP, Marvel, Avengers, all these characters, and you try to implement them into a video game, because everyone has like such an idea of like how these characters should be, how these characters should play, how these characters should talk. And it's really tough when you try to merge all these worlds together, and now the MCU in some regards, right? Remember when, like, I at least remember when Captain America like had those speaking lines in like the trailer, and people are like so confused about the accent, right? But it's like you merge all these things together, and like everyone has like their own different version of how these things should be. And Hulk is just like one of those ones where people were just like very quick on what they think about Hulk. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's got their own kind of opinions on how these characters should be, and how they should play and whatever else. I think I'm just here for like a fun video game more than anything. However we get there with the fun video game, if like characters have to be scaled back in some regards, I'm kind of okay with it. Because at the end of the day, I just want to be able to come on and play like a fun video game that has some challenging bosses, and it is what it is. Yeah, like I didn't get a ton out of it. Maybe all went over my head. Wait, Leafy, remind me? Sorry, dude. I'll be there for your live stream. Thanks. Yo, Hamza, I appreciate it, man. I'll see you there. The reason I care is MCU just throws a lore out the window with no respect for certain characters. Feels, I mean, in some regards, like, yeah, I definitely have seen that argument definitely talked about too. I think it's just, it's definitely, once again, like it's open for interpretation, right? Like it's more so that they take what they, like I said, I didn't like what they did to Hulk in Endgame, but they felt it was necessary for their story, and at the end of the day, that's really all it is, right? Like it's just what they feel is necessary for their story, and overall I enjoyed Endgame, so like the Hulk stuff didn't necessarily bother me to like the degree that maybe it would if I didn't enjoy Endgame. But some things hit, some things miss, and that's kind of the medium of movie making sometimes, right? Especially movie making. It's like the same thing with like making a game based off an IP too, right? Like the goal is to kind of capture the spirit of the characters, and like sometimes you take things that maybe you don't feel is pertinent to the character, and they kind of change that or do some things with it. But sometimes the things that they don't think is pertinent to the character, some people do, and because of that, you kind of alienate some people from that character with your interpretation of it. It's the same thing you see here in the game, for example. And once again, it's just because everyone views these characters so differently sometimes, but also with so much kind of like passion to them as well, right? At the end of the day, like whatever decision you make, someone's probably not going to be happy. It's just a matter of trying to make as many people happy and make as little as people unhappy as possible. Oh, Miller Leaks? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I can really talk about it. Because, Yeah, I don't know how much I could talk about it. And I'll let you make it that way you will, Leafy. But yeah, I mean, there's probably more coming, is what I'll say. There's probably more coming. Do you think they'll show MCU skins? What do you think about Gear 2.0? MCU skins tomorrow? Probably not. Will they mention Gear 2.0 tomorrow? Probably not. What do I want from Gear 2.0? I want gear that really kind of changes the way these characters play a little bit. One of the things I don't necessarily like about gear is that it's all percentage changes for the most part, right? Sure, you get like a Jarvis Berry or a Tachyon Surge, and like some of that's pretty cool. Like keep those things, but like I don't really care to like sit here and compare percentages, right? I want exotic gear that really is exotic, that really changes like the flow of the character, that really kind of like manifests a different way to play the game, play the character. You know, I don't think exotics go far enough. I don't think there's a big enough gap between them and legendaries. I think they need to go farther, and they need to do more, and they need to go out there with kind of what they're trying to do. If they can kind of nail that, then I'll be pretty cool. I'll be pretty happy with it. I just don't necessarily like getting a piece of gear and like having to compare percentages. You know, I want gear to kind of affect skills, that kind of influence the way I play, that influences what bosses I'm facing with these builds. I just want things, and like the battery effect's pretty cool in that regards too. Like the battery effect can be pretty cool. You know, I just want things that kind of change the way I play the game without kind of just sitting here and going like, oh, that's like 15% versus like 17%. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean, like that's really all I want more than anything. I didn't enjoy Endgame. There's no reason for the Russo unnecessary fan service, but missed Hulk. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they just, I mean, like Hulk's just one of those characters where they just like seemingly just didn't do anything with him for some reason. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see like what he gets in She-Hulk. You know what I mean? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, the fact that the character's sticking around could be like an indication that they do have some more plans with him, and obviously hope they do something with him. And like that's the hope I'm holding on to. You know what I mean? No one could tell me otherwise. Where the fuck is this shield outpost again? I know it's like under something, right? I don't know what to say again. No, you're good. You're good, Dip. It's good for Hulk to be smaller, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't get decent fight scenes. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. Just have to wait and see, my man. That's all we got. Just wait and see. Hope they had Quicksilver. A speedster character is one that I'm interested in seeing like what the implementation would be in a speedster character. Where the hell is this? Guys, you're gonna have to help me. I don't play the Snowy Tundra that much. I know Thor's looking at me trying to figure it out, but like, oh, never mind. It's not under something. Wait, which is the one that's under something? There's like one that's under an underpass. Oh, I'm an idiot. Do you think the Hawkeye DLC will release right after the deep dive? Probably not, Prime. Probably not, man.
You have discovered the location of the shield.
Use the Force.
Please step inside and take the elevator.
100% agree on the gear comments. Yeah, I mean, I know some people like the gear system as is. I just don't think the gear system really goes as far as it needs to. When we start looking at like what gear should do, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm thinking too much with the gear. I just want gear that really feels like it matters. I want gear that changes the game a little bit, you know? Like, I want to pick up a gear piece and like slot it in, and it changes a skill. You know what I mean? Like, a gear affects a skill, which affects the way I play, which could potentially affect the boss I face and what I do against that boss, right? I want everything to be interlinked together so that the decisions I make may actually affect like the boss I'm playing, right? Like, I want everything to play nicely with each other instead of like a one size fits all kind of thing. But like, I know some people just want like their one personal build and they just run with that, which is fine. But maybe like take elements of what I'm suggesting and what elements of what they have already and kind of merge the two systems together as nicely as they can and kind of give us something that's a little more complex but also a little more fun as well. And like maybe we get the best of both worlds in that regard. You think we got Spidey and Miles like two Hawkeyes? No, we won't have Miles, but we'll definitely get Peter. I want gear that also changes the look. I mean, that's such a Prime. Oh man, part of me agrees because like getting new loot that changes like the way you look is like part of like the fun. But like you can get some ugly ass loot, man. And it can make your character real ugly, man. I think that's a dangerous thing to ask for. It's a dangerous thing to ask for. but we should have to wait and see. It was the end of the Infinity Saga. They should have done him at least reasonable justice. I don't disagree, but if the character's continuing on and can have other moments to shine, I think I'm okay with it, right? If that was the end of the character as is, never coming back, see you later, I think like it'd be like, yeah, like that sucks. But I think if the character is like making an appearance elsewhere and like continuing the story further, I think like I'm gonna remain hopeful that they do that character justice in future iterations, and hopefully we get something more out of him. You know what I mean? Iron-Man, Cap, and Thor fought Thanos twice in Endgame. Hell, even Scarlet Witch gets a piece of Thanos, but Hulk is basically missing the biggest battle of the MCU so far. Once again, I don't disagree with you. I mean, unfortunately, it just kind of is what it is at this point, and all we can really hope for is that like the implementation of him in like Scarlet Witch, in She-Hulk is just better. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't disagree with you, but at this point, like the bed's been made, and it's just about like kind of what's next, unfortunately, right? Which it could be between your 4 characters mid-combat. Oh, like an Ultimate Alliance kind of situation. Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, maybe. I wouldn't be opposed to that idea if you're playing a solo that you could switch to all your characters. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Thanks, buddy. We have timed exclusive. Every gaming platform should have their own exclusive hero, and which DLC hero you want for each platform. Do I think he's the time? I keep going back and forth, Prime. I'm going to be honest with you, brother. I keep going back and forth whether I think he's timed or not. Part of me really wants him to be timed. Part of me thinks that if we get crossplay, he will be timed, because they will probably. I don't even know if I want to say that. I want to say the thing that is holding up crossplay is probably some sort of contractual agreement with Spider-Man, and they don't really want to show Spider-Man on other systems, yada yada, so forth, so on. So I mean, if we do get crossplay, I would imagine Spider-Man is some sort of timed exclusive. If we don't get crossplay, maybe not. I don't know. There's so much to unpack there. I really want Spider-Man to be timed. I really want everyone to play Spider-Man. I really want Spider-Man content to come to this game for everybody. And with that being said, I hope that there's no other exclusives for other platforms. I don't think there is. I don't think there's anything like Valve isn't going to pay for like a exclusive character. Google is not going to pay for an exclusive character. Microsoft's not going to pay for an exclusive character. So you're not going to see any more exclusive characters. But I hope Spider-Man is timed so everyone can play him. Which DLC character you want for each platform? I know people have like said like, oh, put Deadpool on like Xbox or whatever. I just hope there's no more exclusives, man. I want everyone to play everything. I don't like exclusives. I really don't like exclusives. Like I don't like an exclusive game is one thing, but like an exclusive character on like a game that's on multi-platforms, it's kind of yikes, man. It was like the same thing when I was getting into Destiny, and if you guys remember Destiny 1, and I think even the beginning of Destiny 2, there was like strikes that were like limited to PlayStation and all this other stuff, and then you can go back to like Call of Duty and the map packs and stuff. It's just like exclusive stuff, timed or not, just feels really dirty to me, man. I just want everyone to play everything. That's just personal at that point. Even though, like I said, I'm not going to be on the receiving end of Spider-Man. I'm going to get to play Spider-Man. But at the end of the day, I want everyone to play Spider-Man, you know? I want everyone to play Peter. Because, you know, there's going to be people who don't get a PlayStation to play the Insomniac games, right? So why would we stop these guys from playing, you know, Spider-Man on this game, right? That's just my personal thought. I hope it's not permanent. I really don't. There shouldn't be an argument. We should have to toggle the option gear cosmetics on and off for those who want cosmetic gear changes, for those who don't want that. I mean, I can see why they don't, though. And what I say by I can see why they don't, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for it, because in some ways they want the costumes that people spend money to stand out. It's kind of the thing where it's like, if you can put on your own cosmetics with your gear, do you really want to pay for like a costume at that point? You know what I mean? Do you really want to spend the $9, the $14 or whatever it is, like buy a costume at that point? Probably not. You know, you can just be like, oh, is this 4 over here? Yeah, I'm not even paying attention. Because at that point, you don't really need to buy a costume. You can just make your Black Widow look whatever you want based on the gear. You know what I mean? So, like, in some ways, like, putting cosmetics tied to gear is, like, counteractive to, like, what they want to do in their monetization system. Not saying their monetization system is good, but it just goes counteracts, like, what they're trying to do, right? So, I mean, like, in some ways, like, yeah, like, I always say, like, more choice is better. But if they open that Pandora's box, then, like, maybe no one buys costumes. I don't know. We'd have to see how it's implemented before I could say, like, one way or another. You know what I mean? It could look really good, or it could look really dog shit. And without really seeing one way or another, it's hard to say, you know, what I support one way or another. I'd probably just keep the costumes as are, personally, if I had the option to, anyways. I agree with Prime said though. Game changing looks for characters would be awesome in the game. It's all about the implementation of it. You know what I mean? It's all about the implementation. They should definitely expand the hero challenge card. I agree with that, Prime. 100%, man. I imagine that they will. I imagine it's going to be like another, like a big challenge card update for a lot of the guys that kind of are standing still with their challenge cards. And then, you know, you'll have to probably pay, you know, a certain amount of money to unlock it, so on and so forth. But I could definitely see that coming soon. Can you play Spider-Man PS4 with Miles Morales on stream? I try not to. It's very tough, man, because in some ways I kind of use this for like Avengers stuff, but like part of me wants to do like a full Marvel coverage, including Miles and Spider-Man and stuff like that. But I'm very wary about like giving you guys too much that isn't Avengers. You know what I mean? But I've definitely thought about it. I definitely dipped my toes in with Realm of Champions before I quit that game for reasons. I felt betrayed when I pre-ordered the game and found out a DLC character was exclusive. Yeah, I don't like the exclusivity, man. I really don't. Like I said, even as someone who's benefiting from the exclusivity, I really don't like it. And I really hope it's timed. I really don't like exclusivity at all. Like, I really don't. Like, if someone pays the same amount of money for the game, then I would want them to get the same benefits that I do. You know what I mean? Like, my 80 Canadian dollars doesn't go farther than your 80 Canadian dollars or whatever the equivalent is that you paid for the game, right? Like, it shouldn't be that way, right? You should be able to play Spider-Man as well, but because of like a deal Sony made, it's like, oh, well, I guess, like, is my $80 worth more than your money now? Like, is that fair? Like, no, it's not fair. Like, it really isn't. So I hope that it's a timed exclusive and we never have to have a conversation about exclusivity again. PvP mode would be awesome. I agree with you, Prime. I thought PvP could be really interesting, but they've kind of shot that idea down pretty harshly to the point where I don't think it's ever going to come. I really don't think we'll ever see PvP in this game, unfortunately. Me personally, I don't want visual cosmetic gear. I think it just depends on the implementation, man. Like I said, it could look really good or it could look really trash. But it totally depends on like how they do it. Cosmetic gear with some goofy looking mofos put here, not gonna lie. Yeah. And that's what I worry about. Like if they really just kind of half-ass it, it could look really bad. Excuse me. Or they could like really do a good job on it. But I think if they do a good job on it and people can like, you know, put different gloves on to make the hands look different, or put a different chest piece on and the chest looks different, or like, you know what I mean? Like then you start looking at like, why would I pay like $9 for a costume? You know, like, or like maybe it alters like the costume's look, so you still need the costume to get the look that you want. Like maybe that is interesting, right? But then does Marvel go for that kind of idea, right? Does Marvel kind of say, yeah, it's a great idea, we'll rubber stamp that one? Like you start coming into like all these questions, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I mean, I think personally, it's not something I would probably mess with a lot. I think I'm okay with like costumes as long as the costumes improve. But I know there's people out there that want gear to change it. So I mean, I've seen the designs of the Avengers Spider-Man. Really reminds me of the Insomniac one. Be so cool if the Avengers Spider-Man is the same as the Insomniac. Yeah, I always thought that would make perfect sense to kind of merge those two worlds, though. Unfortunately, It doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. Is there any chance you play Arkham games on live stream like this, man? Just asking though. I started. I haven't really formally announced this yet. So I'm not gonna touch on it too much. I've actually started another YouTube channel that's gonna cover Gotham Knights and in Suicide Squad. I wanted to say Injustice for some reason, by Suicide Squad, and that'll be like my DC channel. So in the same vein of like the Marvel coverage I do, I'll be doing some DC coverage once the marketing kicks up for Gotham Knights first, and then Suicide Squad second. But I haven't really talked about that yet. And I'll get there eventually. Will I ever play it on this channel? No. Will I ever play it on the other one? Possibly. Whatever happens tomorrow, I think it will hype me up regardless. I think I'm leaning towards just being hype, man. Like I said, I think I'm just excited for something new at this point. Give me something new. Let me play some new stuff. Hopefully there's stuff to keep me there, you know, the day after that. But I think that first day with Hawkeye will be a lot of fun. It's just like kind of what happens after. So I think in that regard, I am excited for just getting my hands on something new. I'm against cosmetic gears. Also taking Justice 2 for install those gear pieces and so many are visual duplicates with different names. Yeah. I never really played Injustice 2, but I definitely played a little bit of it. I was a Dr. Fate main by anyone, you know, you just throw the thing out there, you zone them out. But yeah, a lot of it just seemed like it was like visual dupes in some regards. But I didn't play enough to where I could probably safely make a strong opinion on it, on whether I liked it or not. But yeah, maybe we could just edit the colors on the skins instead of the recolors. One of the theories or suggestions I should say that was kind of thrown out in a conversation with me was, if you buy a skin, you get all the recolors with that skin, right? So if you buy, like say for example, you buy Gladiator Hulk, right? Gladiator Hulk, when he's green, has like different color on his armor, right? Whether it's orange or purple or whatever it is. If you buy Gladiator Hulk, no matter which one you buy, you get every recolor of him. So you can change those visual things. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's an idea, right? Like I said, I don't like recolors being sold. I don't like it. It feels really grimy to me. But there's got to be like a solution there somewhat that kind of allows people to buy the skins that they want and also putting recolors out there, you know? I just don't think what they're doing is working right now. And I definitely think that's one of the things they're probably talking about, how to, like, you know, recoup money in the marketplace and whatever else. No, I got friend requests. Boom. Ada Solomon Grundy was Missy from Injustice 2. Yeah, I mean, I didn't play Injustice 2 a lot. I just played it, went online, and then I don't really like NetherRealm fighters. I'm a Capcom kind of fighter guy, you know? So it wasn't for me, so I just like put the game down, never picked it back up again. I didn't even like play the story or anything. I'm not a big like fighting game story guy. So I was just like, yeah, this game's not really for me, and I just like put it down and I was like, yeah, it's all good. All good. Wish we got damage effects on the loot like Gamma. Oh, do you mean like the Division 2 where you can kind of change the perks on your gear? And you can like make the gear, like you can like re-roll your gear. Is that what you kind of mean? I'm trying to grind the Ultimate Patriot Cap costume. That one is really good. My favorite Cap costume right now is I don't think it's equipped on my Cap right now. I think US Agent is, but I think the all new Cap from his Hydra days, not the Hydra armor, but the one afterwards, is probably my favorite. That's a really good costume, I think. I think they made more money when the marketplace was half off. Oh yeah, of course they did. And that's probably a conversation that they should be having too, right? Is like what they're valuing the skins at? Is that what the customers are valuing the skins at? You know, when the skins were half off, I was very excited. I think that was a fair price for it. You know, I've always said, and you know, once again, some people may disagree with me on this, but if you're gonna have $14 skins, these $14 skins should have some visual effects tied to them. Should have some new sound effects tied to them. Right? These skins should be above and beyond anything else in the game right now, right? Like you see the skin, there's like different visual effects to it. Maybe there's different animations tied to the skin. Like there has to be more to the skin that just kind of like, oh, like maybe there's a pattern change. Oh, maybe there's this different, that different. Like these skins have to be far out. And then maybe you can get away, you know, with the $14 for the majority of people, right? But I think when you see a 1400 skin and it's not really anything that different or that great, people are just kind of like, yeah, I'm just not gonna buy that, you know. We all know the best fighter game is Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yeah, I've heard that before. I don't think about Smash Bros. For me is like I just find it's like too floaty. Maybe that's like a weird opinion. I just find it's floaty. So I try not to. I don't really fuck with it. Resident Evil 4 is a good Capcom title game. Yeah, Resident Evil is super good. Resident Evil 8 is gonna be amazing. I think Resident Evil 8 should be a lot of fun. I put arcade fighter games down too. I broke too many controllers playing fighting games online. Yeah, that's kind of the way that works, right? Eventually, I almost broke a controller today playing NHL. So, but yeah, I spent a lot of money during the half off too. Like half off, just it seems perfect for the prices. I wish credits were spent in the marketplace. I wish the fabrication devices, like the fabrication stuff, is really weird too. But I think that's a symptom of like there's just not enough skins in the game to support like the drop rates what they were before they got nerfed, which is why like they shouldn't be like, I think recolors, either you get all of them when you buy it, or like recolors should be in the game to earn, and you like prices, and then maybe that's the way you do that, you know what I mean? I think that might be an interesting compromise to do. At least I think so. If they want to charge $14 for the skin, call it an Exodyssey and have a different thing with trials, effects, and sounds. Yes. Have legendaries be 700, epics 500, common 250. Yeah, Exodyssey, that's a great way to do it, you know, sticking with kind of the theme of your gear. I think exotic skins could be like a really interesting way to do it, but I think you're spot on with like exotic skins have to be more than what they are now. If you're going to charge at that price, you know, I definitely think that's a great compromise there. Great compromise there, I think. Smash Bros ain't it? I mean, it's for a lot of people, man. I just find it's like very floaty. So I mean, it's not my jam, but it's all good. It's all good. Hear me out. What if exotics and only items that change your character look and they had sets so you collect the full set that look completely different? Let me think about that one. Let me sit on that for a while, dude. Let me sit on that one. I see what you're going with. I see what you're going with. I see where you're going with that. Let me sit on that one for a minute here. I just want the war table to be a decent length video with some depth. Hope it's not a 10-minute video. I want it to be like 15 minutes, but we'll see. We'll see, man. I mean, I'm with you on that one. Like the longer the better, because like hopefully they really talk about the meat that's in there. But I think we'll probably get closer to 10 minutes than we would 15. Be cool if you could buy units. Don't you start getting into like mobile game territory when you start allowing like buy units or something? Like, oh, you start getting into some murky territory a little bit there, right? I'm very slowly falling asleep and dying. Duck, you're literally one night away from the deep dive. Don't die, all right? Fall asleep, yes. Don't die though. It'd make exotics more exciting to go after, to be honest. I see what you're saying, Juan. I see what you're saying. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Would you be? What's a good compromise to that? I don't know if, like, when you say like change your character's look, do you mean like make them like almost like an echo character, like not like, you know what I mean? Or would you do like different visual effects? Do you like where's the line that you would draw with that kind of suggestion then? I don't necessarily disagree with it. And I definitely think the implementation could be very cool. It's just where's the line on like where you go with that, you know? I'll try not to die, but if I do, whatever, Duck, I hope you don't die, man. I hope you don't die, dude. Why didn't they make the deck of the Helicarrier accessible? I think that's a no-brainer. My hope was like, since it's not accessible, we'd see like a horde mode game mode that would come out of that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like you just like queue into like a horde mode, like the Helicarrier is being attacked by AIM or whoever. You could switch out the villains when new villains get introduced to the game. Like you could do so many different things with that, and then you just like queue into it. You know what I mean? So maybe it's not like an open part of the hub, but like, you can make that like part of like a mission. You know what I mean? I think that'd be kind of cool. I definitely agree that like maybe they definitely missed the ball a little bit on not implementing that, but I think it's definitely still salvageable. I think. I would hope. Do you like how it's very easy to get exotics not having like 5% grand materials not getting anything? I would like to see like I definitely think like if you're looking for exotics, I mean you know where to get them, right? You have your Mega Hive exotics, you have your Last Avenger Standing exotics, you have your Tachyon exotics. I always thought that like if you play it like, you know, obviously maybe this might be part of like their overall tweak to challenge rating, but I always thought if you play it like challenge 4 on any mission, I don't care what it is, I always thought that like the chance of an exotic dropping should be higher, you know? So like maybe you don't necessarily need to do a 3-hour Mega Hive during your week, right? But you could play like a challenge 4 drop zone or whatever, and like maybe in that you have a chance in an exotic dropping, you know? Because I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest, like I used to grind out the Mega Hive every week, but like lately I just haven't had like the mental fortitude to like grind out the Mega Hive on like a weekly thing, you know? Also be dope if exotics had different visual effects you see. Oh, that I 100% agree with that one. I 100% agree with that, dude. I think that's I think that's an interesting thing. Like I always thought that like implementing visual effects with exotics or changing the way some skills play with an exotic equipped is such a no-brainer that I think like it's such an easy thing to do. I think that's such an easy thing to do. Well, and I say easy as like obviously like I don't know game development, but I think that's such an easy thing that the community would enjoy, that I think it's something that they really need to consider when they're talking about like 2.0, Gear 2.0, sorry. Oh, so like a specific rule breaker Hawkeye that comes from all 4 pieces of the exotic set made that and bonus perks on top. Bonus perks, yes. I would have to think about like the whole skin with exotics thing. I'd have to think about that. That's something I'm gonna have to like sit down and like think about. Not that I immediately am like saying no to it, but I definitely think I would have to like sit down and like, you know. I don't have the mental fortitude to do anything. Hold on, fuck, I wasn't paying attention. Duck, you just have to exist, buddy. Just have to exist, Duck. X-Men game where we all can play all mutants on trade one as a dream game. I know people have thought about like talked about like being able to like make your own character in here. You know what I mean? You can like make your own like Inhuman. I think that was the suggestion. It's interesting. I don't know. I like play the game to play Marvel characters. I don't know how interested I am in like creating my own character, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think a game has to be designed for that right off the rip, you know? Like if you create a game like that, you have to like create it from the outset that like this is this character's game, this is your character's game. And then like the characters that you know and love, like Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, they're like NPCs like helping you out through the game, you know what I mean? With the way the game is now, probably not, but I think if an X-Men game did that right off the rip, Matrix, I think you're onto something there. Would it be dope if there was exotics that could change the look of your character's weapons, like an exotic changes Cap's shield, Thor's hammer, Widow's guns, and batons, Kate's bow and sword? I mean, yeah, obviously. I mean, one, like I said, dude, you and I don't actually disagree on a lot of these points. It's usually how things are worded that we disagree on. But yeah, I mean, you and I definitely don't disagree on a lot of these things, man. Like some of the points you've been talking tonight, you just kind of nailed right off the rip. Yo, Ryan, what's up, bro? Hulk needs to sprint. I think most of the ground traversal guys could probably use like an upgrade into their speed, right? I think Cap's probably one that could use like a speed upgrade. I think Hulk could probably use a speed upgrade. You know, I think Iron Man could use a boost upgrade. Or Hawkeye's katana, that'd be cool. Yeah, like I think exotics that change like your weapons or the visual effects or stuff like that. Like I said, I think exotics need to go further than what they do now, and I think you guys definitely agree with me on that one. I think where we might disagree or where we do agree will probably be in the specifics of that, but I think everyone here can probably make the argument that exotics probably need to go further. And it's all just about the implementation of how those exotics go further, you know? We want the same thing in the end, to be honest. I mean, you're right, man. You're right. We just want a fun Avengers game to play, man. And I think a lot of it comes down to is, like, here's the thing. I think all of us here want a fun Avengers game to play. I think where a lot of us get lost is, like, we split hairs in, like, where that game comes from. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we all want to come home from, like, our work or jobs or school or whatever. And we all want a fun Avengers game to play. It's just we usually disagree on how to get there and what the priority is, or, you know, kind of what needs to be implemented first, or what changes this to that. But yeah, I mean, like, we all kind of want the same goal in the end, man. And you're 100% right on that. 100% right on that. It's a matter of getting there more than anything, you know? Like I said, hopefully as like kind of things start, you know, as the year goes on and, you know, we start seeing more come out, hopefully we start getting to realize what that fun Avengers game that we all want is, you know what I mean? I think it's just a matter of the road that it takes, you know, whether that road's going to be a long one or a short one, or, you know, what kind of happens there. You think they will improve the traversal movement? In what way do you think it needs to be improved? Like I said, I think Iron Man probably could use a speed boost. Not boof. I think Cap could probably use some sort of speed boost. You know, there's an argument to maybe Hulk might need something a little bit. I think there's arguments to be made that maybe traversal, some characters probably need a little boost here and there. Just picked it back up. Been too busy with work. It's all good, Ryan. Welcome back, dude. Welcome back to the game, man. At the end of the day, we just want reasons to come back. We want game to reach. But yeah, of course, of course. That's exactly it, Juan. That's exactly it, man. More animations, more boosts, as he said. Yeah, I mean, those are all good things that could be added to the traversal. I think there's arguments to be made, and I would be glad to make those arguments on a video. If that's something you guys would want to see. I think those are definitely things that could probably be added to the game, and it's a little quality of life thing, right? Like, I think the game definitely could use a little quality of life here and there when it comes to certain things. And I think, you know, traversal movement speed for certain characters could be something that is needed. Wish that Harmony could place any enemy to fight. Amar, that's definitely something I've suggested too, man. Now, like I've said before, it seems like they have plans for the harm room, in terms of like they're going to be changing around the harm room a little bit. You know, it's been alluded to on their developer streams that the harm room will have kind of some changes coming to it. I don't know how specific they are with those changes or what they're going to, but that's definitely something I suggested myself, man, where like the harm room should be almost like your own personal playground, you know? And you should be able to do whatever you want in there to test out builds, to, you know, do whatever. You know, if there's like harm room specific loot coming, that could be cool too. But definitely there definitely is something coming. We just don't know to the scale of what it's going to be. We live in a society, the Joker. Welcome back though, Jenkins. Welcome back, buddy. Harmor should be like the Warframe simulation where you can pick the enemies to find tester. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. I agree. I agree. Once again, dude, we're finding ourselves in agreement. Could you do a video series of characters you want and how their skins, combat, and gear would work? That might be interesting. I might put some pen to paper and think about that. It might be interesting. My pushback is always priority. Clearly, the stress for users you have to pick and choose. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the big thing, right? Is what is like the priority and what is the thing that will get. I want us to get more players back, but I mean, like, it's tough. I agree though, Leafy. Like the it's all about priority, you know. Do you know the guy from YouTube that makes Avengers video negatively in Kamina? I think his name is Kyle or something. What's your opinion on him? I try not to speak about other YouTubers that I don't necessarily associate with on a personal basis. So like I associate on a personal basis with some other people, so I feel very freely about talking with them. In terms of like some other YouTubers, not just him specifically, but there's some other guys I don't really want to talk about just because I don't necessarily associate with them. I don't necessarily know their content that well. I know that he personally can be a lightning rod for a lot of people. But in terms of like my personal opinion on him, I really don't have one. Is Widow your main? Kind of sort of right now, Ryan. I was a Cap main for a while, but kind of right now I'm playing Widow. But I will eventually get back to Cap eventually. Thoughts on Cap being able to pick up Thor's hammer in game? Eventually, probably. I mean, it's really interesting that they had that weird little glitch at one point, right? So it's a matter of time, not a matter of if, I think. Matter of time, not a matter of if. That's why I hate the PvP shouts. Like, guys, come on. I understand, like, this game, like, it feels like PvP could be a lot of fun in this game. So I definitely understand that people want it. I mean, at one point I wanted PvP, but they've been very adamant that, like, PvP isn't something they're going to implement. Unfortunately, it sucks because I want PvP. But yeah, I think it's just from, they've said no. Even if it was something they were going to think about doing from, like, a development standpoint, I don't know if it's something they'd even think about putting out soon. But yeah, I don't know. I understand why, though. PvP is such a big thing for a lot of gamers. Even for myself, like, growing up playing PvP games, like, I understand that, like, it's a thing that really motivates a lot of people to play some games. So I get it. They expand the skill points. Black Widow should have a rifle. Widow with a rifle would be fire. I think they might save that for Bucky. Have you tried reflecting Unibeam? Yeah, I did that like once it first showed up on Reddit there. That was back when I was streaming on Twitch though, so that was a while ago. But yeah, I'd done that. Well, eventually we get some open maps where we get to roam and relax and do random patrols like missions. I mean, that's the dream, right? That's the dream. I wish Hulk was able to use a hammer or spiked mace. Yeah, weapons for Hulk would be kind of cool, right? Like go the gladiator route a little bit. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is I know someone messaged me on PSN to do a mission. So I'm going to do one more mission with you guys. Killer Enemy. Welcome to the team. So if you guys want to come in, let me know. We'll add you in and we'll do a mission here. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, hanging out, appreciate you guys hanging out on a nice Monday night here. We'll be back tomorrow at about 12:45 Eastern for the deep dive. We'll be talking to your predictions again. We'll be covering the deep dive as we go. We're gonna do one full watch through, no commentary, and then we'll do another watch through, breaking it down scene by scene. So if you guys are looking to get the full video without kind of me pausing every 10 seconds, you will get that. So this game is not built for PvP. Yeah, PvP balancing is really weird. You kind of have to, like, the sandbox, I don't know necessarily works for PvP right now, but they'd have to do a lot of things. Hope we get Asgard as a region. I do too. PvP so that everyone plays Thor and kills everyone. So much fun. They'd have to balance, like, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for when they take all the gear and normalize? They'd have to normalize all the gear. How often do you stream? I stream right now Monday nights, and then I do Friday nights kind of covering the dev stream. So I do 2 nights a week streaming, and then I do videos throughout the week kind of covering more of the news, covering the blog posts, covering patch notes. I have a weekly recap video that comes out now every weekend. I'll talking with another fellow content creator about all the stuff that happens throughout the week. So you get one guaranteed stream a week, sometimes two if they do a dev stream. You get like maybe 3 videos a week on the channel. Sometimes, more often than not, it seems, right? Killer, I think we're just gonna do a nice little tachyon here, brother. If you want to do that, if you're down with a tachyon. So yeah, but yeah, tomorrow we'll be back with a live stream coverage, and then I am also filming a community voices video right after that. Actually, that should be out on Wednesday night when I'm at work. So you guys can go nuts in that comment section, and I won't know until I get home from work Wednesday night. So be nice in those comment sections, guys. I'll be watching, not till after, but you know. Would you be open to do a character design video for Quicksilver, Silver Surfer, or even War Machine? Yeah, I might be interested in kind of putting together something like a character mock-up video series. I might be interested to do that. It might take a lot of research though to kind of figure out what I would like to see from it. But off the top of my head, I'm not opposed to the idea. It would take a lot of work, but I'm not against a lot of work. If it's something that might be popular with you guys and you guys might watch it and enjoy it, I'm always open to those ideas, kind of thing. Because at the end of the day, I just want to make videos that you guys enjoy more than anything, right? So yeah, I'll put some pen to paper. I'll think about it, and I'll see what I can get done. I wish all Avengers got night skins, not just Iron Man. Yeah, it feels like they should have just gone all out with it, right? It should have gone all out with it, you know? Make Captain America a night skin. Imagine if you get Captain America with the scales, like almost like the scales with a night skin. Ooh, I don't know how that would have gone, but definitely they should have done something like that. I agree. Like I said, the night skin's not bad in terms of a reuse of assets. It's not the worst skin in the world. I think the perception of it was just off because of the conversation surrounding it, right? And I think that's the issue more than anything, was the conversation surrounding the night skin brought the perception of the night skin down before, you know, just because everyone had expectations of something else. It is what it is. I think, like I said, they need to like really work on their hype game and their communication, because like even something small as that gets blown out of proportion, and before you know it, like something so small can turn so big, and it's just brutal. I was feeling team needs to look at some of the current live services at Destiny 2, Warframe, Division 2, and Fortnite. Some more games get ideas. Yeah, I mean you look at Destiny 2 and you see takedowns, and then they put takedowns in the marketplace, right? Like obviously they took some ideas that probably should have been taken. But I definitely agree that like there's probably some aspects of it that they need to look at. I don't know if I would look at Destiny 2 currently, because it seems like Destiny 2 is in a spot right now where a lot of people may not be happy with it, which I don't know. I think for as much shit as Division 2 gets, I think Division 2 for its lifespan has been pretty good so far. I think probably with all these games, you're going to find people who probably don't enjoy certain aspects of it. I think Division 2 has probably done what it set out to do pretty well. And I think the people now, after like, I think the game's been out like, what, 2.5 years now? I think people now are just kind of like saying like, I want more, like I'm bored of it, you know, give me more. But I think at this point, you know, Division 2 did what it wanted to do. It did it in a way that, you know, was good. Lots of people enjoyed it. But I think any of those games, you know, you take little pieces here and there and you kind of put your own little twist on it, and you kind of amalgamate a lot of these ideas into your own game. You could have something really, really good there. But just please no sunsetting. No sunsetting. Don't sunset my armor. I think after all the characters are released, including Leaf, will they expand further like a Luke Cage update? If we get all those characters, yeah, possibly. I'm just, I'm very wary about talking like outside of like 2021, just because like my personal philosophy is like, let's get through this year and let's have a good year this year. Then we can talk about 2022. You do 2022 well, you can talk about, you know, 2023, so on and so forth, right? Like, so like, is there a possibility that like maybe we get all those characters and then they do like a Luke Cage? Yeah, of course. I just don't want to speculate that far in the future, because I really want to make it through this year and hope the game kind of does like a good solid for 2021, and then we can kind of see what we get for 2022 more than anything, you know. Medieval Black Widow skin would be dope if done right. True. All right, I'm gonna get up out of your brother. Keep up the good content. I'll catch you on the stream tomorrow. Yo, Jalen, take it easy, man. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit, man. I'll catch you tomorrow. It's confirmed they'll be making more content for Division 2 for 2022. I saw that. And that was after they had thought that like they were done with the game, right? But I guess like they had thought like they were going to be done with it. But I guess like reception and like probably player numbers have gone up. And they said like, okay, we're going to make more for it, which is good. Like that's what you want out of these games, right? As a fan of like Division, what you want is you want these games to continue, right? So the fact that Division 2 is continuing even after they thought they were done, and they said that like we thought we were going to be done, is a good thing. And you want, like in some ways, you want Avengers to be the same thing, right? Thank you for doing a quiet pure reaction one tomorrow. Tune for that. Yeah. So tomorrow, guys, what we're gonna do is the first playthrough of the deep dive is gonna be me sitting here. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'll mute my mic. We can watch it. And then after we kind of get that, I'll give my thoughts, and then we'll go through and we'll break down some of the moments, some of the things you guys want to go over. But yeah, the first playthrough will definitely be kind of like, I'm going to shut my ass up and just watch it with the rest of you guys. No worries about that, man. I'm not going to ruin it for you guys if you guys tune in and hang out, man. Don't worry. It's all about that balance. But yeah, I'll definitely, we'll get that right for you guys tomorrow for sure. Yes, sir. I'm actually excited to be on the plus. I collected all my Resident Evil pair and got my Jill sandwich. I haven't played it. I haven't played Division in a while. I was thinking about going back for the Resident Evil event. I know it ended today, right? So like I guess I'm late to it, but I think eventually I'll go back to the game. You know, I'll eventually make my way back there. Just a matter of putting some time aside to do it, because I think I was playing on PC. I think I'm going to play on the PS5. Just because like the summit queues on PC are kind of low sometimes, and I imagine on PlayStation the summit queues are probably higher, so I'll eventually go back there. It's just a matter of it's a matter of when, not if, kind of thing. I was gonna do my own watch through because of that, but this works. Oh, it's all good, Leafy. Like whatever you decide to do, man. Whatever you decide to do, man. Don't feel like you have to be here if if you're planning to do your own thing, man. But for anyone who's kind of just looking to hang out, we'll definitely be doing our own thing for sure. We should make a far by hella blue chips that can have all my money. Oh, Phil, you are the legendary whale that I hear about. Kind of wish they included the Republic Commando into the new Star Wars game. I think Star Wars games, if we're gonna just switch topics a little bit here, I think Star Wars games not being exclusive to EA will be a huge thing for the fans of those. You'll get a lot of different games from a lot of different developers, and you should theoretically get a lot of different experiences out of that. I think Star Wars fans looking for new experiences out of the games will be very excited for the next, 5-10 years out of Star Wars games. Not gonna lie, Division 2 soundtrack be getting me hyped as fuck. The music poser is a beast. Oh, really? I'll have to take a listen to it. Is it on Spotify? If it's on Spotify, I'll definitely take a listen. Well, they're doing a bunch of different Star Wars games now. Marvel might need to go through the same learning process. Yeah, it's always like it's tough because like when you tie your IP to like one publisher, it may seem like a good idea because like obviously if you tie it to like one publisher with a big history, you're like, oh, like they've been around a while, it's like almost guaranteed money in a sense. It's like, but like in some regards, like when you tie it to one publisher, like your IP is almost like held hostage in that sense, right? Like Star Wars fans for a while were like looking for like new experiences, right? And like, you get Fallen Order, which is great. You get Squadrons, which is like pretty fun. You get Battlefront 2, which eventually turns good, but like when it starts getting good, they pull the rug out from under it, right? Like it's just in some regards, it's like it's just one of those things where you got to be very careful about tying your IP to one publisher. And I don't necessarily mind. And then on the same flip side too, if you don't do that and you tie it and you just let anyone play with your IP, you get like the Total War, right? Is it Total War or the Warhammer? Where like every year it feels like there's like 4 different Warhammer games that come out and they're all kind of trash. And it's like it's definitely one of those things where there's a healthy balance in between. It's just a matter of like getting there and finding like the right people to work with at the right time for the right game idea. Yeah, because like those are two extremes, right? You have EA, which will barely do anything with your IP, and then you have like Warhammer, which they give it to anybody, and you end up getting like fucking mediocre trash every year, you know. Star Wars no longer tied to EA might be a blessing. Oh, I think it is. I think it is. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think you know, whether you want Battlefront 3, which is coming, Fallen Order 2, which is coming, you know, the Knights of the Old Republic remake, which is coming, or you get like the massive, you know, like they're kind of maybe like Division-esque Star Wars game. Like I think there'll be something for everyone. You know what I mean? Like you'll have your traditional shooter, you'll have your story RPGs, you'll have your remake of like a fan favorite RPG. You'll have like kind of like a new take on like a looter within Star Wars, which should be pretty cool. Like you'll have like so many different takes on some of these games, and like people will enjoy it. Do you think Hawkeye will have a comic purple mask suit? Yes. Hawkeye should have. It should have the casual. It should have Ronin. It should have the classic. It should have Old Man, and it should have the current. That's 5 suits right off the rip that I'm thinking about. I may be missing one. But yes, he will have a comic accurate. There's no way he doesn't. I will literally eat an onion live on stream if he does not have a classic Hawkeye suit. Literally eat one on stream live. So waiting for the next part of Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's killing me. I swear there was supposed to be something coming out recently. It was like rumored or leaked or teased. And then like I guess nothing happened. Yeah, I mean, is there any rumors of that's coming out like this year or next year? Or I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy, so I don't keep up with a lot of that stuff, to be honest with you. Like I'm like, as much as I love video games, there's not really a lot that's like really drawing me in right now, which is why I'm like so heavily invested in like this game pulling a turnaround, because like there's not really a lot of games that I'm looking at right now. Like maybe like aside from like Monster Hunter, or like, you know, Gotham Knights or Suicide Squad next year, there's not really a lot I'm looking at. I'm saying like these are the games I want to play. So with that said, I don't really keep up with a lot of the other news going on. Aerith is Bay. Don't eat the onion. Listen, if Hawkeye doesn't launch with a classic comic suit, I will eat an onion. Also waiting to see more on Outriders. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting. It's gonna be an interesting demo when that launches in 10 days. Actually, 10 days. That would be really interesting. I think that's gonna be more akin to the Remnant. If you guys play Remnant: Rise of the Ashes, I think that'll be pretty similar to how that is. Considering they're saying it's not like a game as a service, like everything you get there, I think Remnant's pretty close to that. So if you guys probably like the Remnant and how that plays out, I'm pretty sure Outriders will probably be up your alley. I can't find a game either. I find myself on Avengers mostly. Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, like I said, I'm like, maybe Monster Hunter next month will be a game that I enjoy, but like there's just when I think about games lately, it just nothing really jumps out and it like is pulling me in, you know. DC Universe Online is good. Yeah, I don't know if I want to play an MMO though, you know. Like the thing about DC is like I know so many people have recommended it to me. There's just so much DLC there too. Like, you know, I go on Steam and I look at all that DLC and I'm like, holy shit, like there's so much there, and I don't know what's needed or what's not needed. I don't know like if any of it's needed. Like, man, there's so much there that I would have to like really like read up on, like, you know. I don't mind MMOs. I've played MMOs for a while. I played a little bit of World of Warcraft, a little bit of Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 2. I played a lot of Star Wars: The Old Republic. Like MMOs are nothing new to me. It's just MMOs are like such a big time investment too. Who do you want the villain for Spidey DLC to be? I don't think we'll get the Green Goblin. So I would say like I think Rhino. No, fuck. If I say Rhino, people are gonna say it's like very similar to Abomination. Give me Sandman. Give me Sandman. Something a little different. maybe some mechanics that we haven't really seen before. I think Sandman could be an interesting one. I was gonna say Rhino. I think Rhino could be really cool, but then I was thinking about like, fuck, people are gonna say like it's like the mechanics are like similar to like Abomination, to Maestro, so and to like Red Hulk that's coming. So yeah, let's go Sandman. Cannot wait for Mass Effect Trilogy. I have to check out for a bit. I'm in work. Yo, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, I have a lot of friends that are excited for Mass Effect Trilogy. I have a lot of friends excited for that. It might be something I pick up because I never played it before. DC Universe is a great game. I'll check it out. I'll check it out again.
Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms.
I think Alistair Smith will be working for AIM and make Spider Slayers. Ooh, that's an interesting one. I think Mysterio would be cool. You could have illusions. What if they gave you Mysterio instead? Yeah, Mysterio's fine. Mysterio's fine. A multi-stage Rhino fight would be cool. A multi-stage Rhino fight would be cool. I don't want to say Rhino because people are gonna say you know what I mean. Like Rhino could be very similar to like an Abomination or like a Maestro fight. So even though I would like Rhino, I'm gonna go with Sandman. But Mysterio could be cool. Red Hulk is coming. Yeah, Red Hulk's in the files. Red Hulk is in the files. It's just a matter of like him coming. Red Hulk is there. Yeah. How did you build your Iron Man? My Iron Man is not built at all right now, Phil. I'm gonna be honest with you. My most built character right now is my Black Widow, and like my Cap is like somewhat serviceable. My Kate used to be serviceable before they changed that with the last patch. My Iron Man is not leveled up. I gotta spend some time. Maybe I'll spend next week, maybe a day on stream next week with you guys, and I'll level up my Iron Man or my Thor, and we'll kind of just do like if anyone's got some characters they got to level up too. Maybe we'll all do that together kind of thing. Because right now it's brutal. So much has gone delayed. COVID really screwed that. Yeah, COVID screwed everything. Like I said, I'm going back to work with like 4 days notice. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's everything for the most part. COVID's really screwed up. The game, since the main new threat, most films would be tied to them. Yes and no. Yes, I could see how they could tie that in really neatly in the story. I think eventually they are going to move on from AIM. And maybe AIM becomes more of a background player, but I think eventually AIM's going to be definitely in the background. I would say Goblin for Spider-Man. Yeah, Goblin would be cool. I just don't know, like, if he's a timed exclusive, yes, I think Goblin works. If he's not a timed exclusive and he's a permanent exclusive and they did Green Goblin, you're opening yourself up to a lot of hate, man. That's tough. That's tough. You're already thinking about it now. Like, Spider-Man's going to get this much hate, but then you add Green Goblin into it. Oh, man. Didn't know Red Hawk was on the files. It's crazy. Yeah, he's in there. He's in there. I think Crimson Dynamo is the villain of the War Machine DLC. Crimson Dynamo would be cool. Yo, Balti, what's up, man? Do you think CD will give a sneak peek about any of the characters besides Black Panther or Spider-Man tomorrow or anytime soon? Good question, bro. I don't know, man. I think here's what I think, man. Here's what I think, real quick. I think you're at the point now where tomorrow would be a perfect time to kind of put the roadmap in the public's hands, right? Like, all right, guys, like this is what we have for Clint. Now here's Black Panther. Oh, you guys want more? Well, here's our roadmap, including Spider-Man. This. Is this something I expect tomorrow? No, I don't even know if I expect Spider-Man stuff tomorrow, man. I'd be very surprised if we get Spider-Man stuff. I think at the most you'll get like your Clint, your next gen. You'll get like Black Panther. Maybe that's it. But I like I said, I love to be proven wrong, bro. I love to be proven wrong. Say Mysterio, Scorpio, Sandman, Shocker, Goblin would be great. Yeah, either of those would be good. I as much as I want Goblin, I just know if Goblin's in the game and PC and Xbox players can't play him, shit's going down, man. Like people are gonna throw some hands. You know what I mean? Think they're gonna move on from AIM when Captain Marvel shows? Yeah, eventually they are gonna move on. Eventually they will move on. Is Spider-Man a timed exclusive or permanent exclusive? Dom, I wish I knew, man. I hope he's timed. But we just don't know. Yo, Puppy, what's up? They should release Black Panther in May. I agree. It's probably a safe bet. I always said like June was probably the safest, but I think a safe bet probably May. Maybe, hopefully. All my characters level up to 150. Yeah, I was definitely playing a lot of Captain America for a long time, Preston. So like my guys are like very uneven. Like I have a Hulk at 140, my Kate's at like 148, my Widow's at 150, my Cap's at 150. But for a long time, and anyone who like watched my Twitch streams can just, I used to just like get on stream and like for hours on end, I would just run around as Captain America and just like do that. So like my characters are very uneven in terms of like the levels. Like Iron Man, Thor, and Kamala are like nowhere even close. It's brutal. It's brutal. I need to like sit down and like really level these guys up. Like to see the roadmap for the DLC at least. Yeah, so would I. Tomorrow we'll see a Black Panther tease like you did with Phil Clinton. Yeah, tomorrow we will more than likely 99% see something about Black Panther. It won't be a lot, but it will be enough to whet the appetite for sure. So yeah, I wouldn't expect like full blown like, oh, you guys want like a deep dive on Black Panther? Here you go. Like, but no, it'll be like you guys want a little bit of like Black Panther to kind of whet your appetite. Here it is, kind of situation. Outside of Panther and like that whet your appetite kind of thing, I just don't know if we should expect anything more. I'm going to be greedy, obviously, and say I want more, and I'm always going to want more, and I think everyone should want more. But realistically speaking, I just don't think it's in the cards. But like I said, I would love to be proven wrong. If they can prove me wrong, then please, by all means, go for it. Hope the Kree replace AIM eventually. Yeah, eventually the game will go cosmic in like what you're dealing with. Yeah, and they've hinted at in the story, right? The Kree are coming, right? So like eventually, like you're going to be fighting the Kree and not just AIM, right? It's just a matter of like getting there. A lot of the problems with the game is just getting there. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the unfortunate thing is like a lot of it is just about like, you know, how long does it take to get to these like things that we're waiting for? And that's like the biggest thing. You need to start releasing a character every other month for player retention. I agree. Like the more content that's able to get out faster, I think it's just a matter of like development time that it takes to get these things out, man, more than anything. But I don't disagree. Like I would even say any content, you know what I mean? If they were able to nail down this like network bug that's like holding back Omega level threats. I was saying it earlier, Puppy. I was saying, man, like I would even take just like game content over like new characters at this point if it meant like I could get content faster to run with like people, you know what I mean? Like I'm like that kind of guy at this point. But like I said earlier, I know some people want characters, they want new characters. So I mean like but yeah, it's just about development time at this point. But I definitely don't disagree that like more stuff faster is kind of where I'm at. It's hard to release the roadmap content and timing is always shitting, otherwise putting content in the season at least 4 months possible release for each piece of content. Yeah, I mean, like I've said something similar that like it seems like what they're like. So let me back this up a little bit. So I used to say that it seems like internally a lot of things are still shifting, and like I always said like, you know, they need to nail down internally what the release dates could be, or even release windows before they can like say that to like their stakeholders, right, or the players or whoever else, right? And Phil in the last stream that he was in alluded to now everything's in approval. So what he means by approval is like making sure that they can hit those dates still, and then kind of releasing it, like getting approval from Marvel Games and Square Enix, right? So I think if they're in like the approval stage now, I think they kind of are closer to releasing a roadmap than they have been. It's just a matter of once again like waiting for them to get to that past that approval stage where they can put it out there. I don't know if that approval stage was in like those last approval stages where it's like, okay, let's nail down like the windows as close as possible, so now we can talk about it, or if it's still like kind of in that shifting kind of space where they're, you know, still trying to figure out what can be approved, right? There's like so many stages of that. But to hear they're in approval stage is like both good but like also bad, you know?
We discovered AIM's holding Inhumans in the research facility nearby and decided to break them out before they're moved. trouble is, a large AIM patrol spotted us. And
No one Crystal Dynamics don't make Venom or Connors the villains for Spider-Man DLC 6 and Insomniac. Personally, open for Mysterio, Sandman. Yeah, I said Sandman earlier, Multi. That's what I want too. I want Sandman myself, dude. Venom or Carnage would be like okay, I guess. Maybe, but like Sandman for me is like where it's at. I know some people suggested Mysterio. I think either of those two choices are really good. They'll show what they showed for Hawkeye in the Kate deep dive. I think they'll show more. They'll show more. After a couple of months off, had 2 solid days of gameplay with no bugs, so congrats to them. Oh, there you go. I've actually had not like I used to get a lot of the bugs where enemies wouldn't spawn. I don't think I've had that today. I had some weird like matches wouldn't start at the start of the stream. But I haven't had like I think it was like was it last week or the week before? It seemed like every mission I'd started or even played through, like I had to like reload a checkpoint. I haven't had to reload a checkpoint once today, I don't think. So that was kind of nice. It's the small things in life, I guess, right, guys? What arrow type should Clint have? I'm not a Clint guy, man. I don't know. I mean, what did they have? Pulsar, Tripwire. Boomerang. What else have they said? That's all they've said so far, right? I don't know. I'm not necessarily like super excited for Clint as a character. So like I'm not really too picky over like what he should have or what he will have. I think I'm kind of okay with like whatever we get because like the character doesn't really mean too much to me. So, like, you know, he could have, like, all the different arrow types in the world, and as long as other people are happy, I'm happy for them, you know? It's not like a character I'm looking at and I'm going, this is, like, my all-time favorite character, you know? Something they need to do eventually, seasonal events with you. Yeah, and it seems like that's what they wanted to do, right? If you guys remember, like, leading up to launch, was that the launch war table where they talked about seasonal events? It seems like that they want to do that. It just seems like... fuck, man, those first 2 months of the game launching seems like it really fucked them. Like let's just call a spade a spade. Like those first 2 months with like the game launching the way it did, it just fucked them. So I definitely think seasonal events are in the cards, but yeah, those fucking first 2 months were god awful for this game. Absolutely fucking a travesty. I have high expectations for teaser for Black Panther plus updated roadmap. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, man. I know people like Black Panther means a lot to a lot of people, so I hope like I don't know if we're gonna get like a big teaser that's gonna really like make everyone super happy. I think it would be like it definitely be like one of those things where people want to see more. But I think when the character starts getting his own spotlight to like shine and whatnot, I hope people are really happy with it. So I know that character does mean a lot to a lot of people. So I hope definitely they do right by that character. But I mean, if you have Christopher Judge voicing it, I mean, the voice is already pretty fucking well done right there, right? Right progress. Yeah, I mean, if you've played for 2 days with no bugs, man, I mean, and I haven't had to reload a checkpoint tonight, I mean, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. If I'm back, internet connection sucks in here. Nah, Dip, you're good, man. You're good. Welcome back, bro. Welcome back. So you know, to CDPR, TV, yeah, the roadmap shit to 6 months. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, fuck, for everything that's happened to Crystal Dynamics, dude, fuck, CDPR just got absolutely fucking... Whew. Oh, goodness, man. It sucks for the fans of Cyberpunk, man. Like, I own Cyberpunk, and I'm waiting to play it. Like, I'm waiting for everything to kind of get to a point where I feel okay playing it. But fuck, man, that company just seemingly just takes hit after hit. Like, then getting hacked and, like, having the source code sold for, like, $1 million. Like... I mean, at this point, we're probably going to see modded versions of Cyberpunk that run better than the official version. Eventually, probably. You think they'll release Spider-Man alongside Spider-Man, Black Panther alongside Spider-Man? No, they should keep the player attention higher, get someone of Spider-Man's caliber to release on time for Xbox PC play. Yeah, I definitely think someone's releasing alongside Spider-Man. It's definitely going to be someone. I think Spider-Man is closer than probably we would think. I don't think he's obviously coming anytime like in the next like month or whatever. But I think definitely if they release Spider-Man alongside Black Panther, the sting of not having Spider-Man will definitely be lessened. So I think that's definitely a good play if they were to do that. But yeah, definitely Spider-Man will release alongside somebody, because they can't just have release one character for like one console out of 3, or I mean 4 if you count like, or platform, sorry, if you count Stadia, and then not release anything, right? Like, people will be pissed. So I definitely think he will release alongside somebody. And I think if you're looking for a safe one to release him alongside, I think you're probably looking at Black Panther. I would definitely say it's safe. Hey dude, just finished streaming. Rated Greek told me to tell you RB's talking to be eating it during the podcast. Yo, what's up, Stardust? Guy's a jerk, man. Hope your stream went well, brother. What an absolute jerk. T'Challa for sure will have his sword. I've seen people say they want the daggers. I think the daggers could be pretty cool. I'm excited for T'Challa, man. I'm excited for everything to do with Wakanda. I think we'll at least get a voiceover tease for Black Panther. I'd be very surprised if we don't see Black Panther. I don't think we'll see like a lot of Wakanda. Like, I think it'll be like a little cutscene where Black Panther like maybe turns around and you see like the mask and the outfit. Like, it'll probably be something like that. Do we know if we have an Arby's in the UK? Yeah, that's because the UK is missing out, man. That's why. T'Challa had Black Knight's sword and Spirit Energy daggers. He also teleported. Sounds like an absolute badass. I want that T'Challa in this game. Just came from Greek. He told us to tell you RB sucks if you eat it during the podcast. Oh my god, bro. Jesus Murphy, dude. I know it won't happen, but I vote Deadpool to drop alongside Spider-Man and Black Panther doesn't. Yeah, I've seen people even say like sorry, not Black Panther, that Deadpool should be like a Xbox character. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people say that. I think I'm of the opinion that like no exclusive character should ever be in the game. And with that being said, I hope Spider-Man is a timed exclusive, but I don't think Deadpool is like a character. I don't think Deadpool is a character we should expect anytime soon. I think it's just a safer bet to go with a character that we know is coming relatively shortly. And with that being said, I would put more money on it being on him releasing inside Spider-Man releasing inside Black Panther than he would anything else. It just makes a lot of sense to me. I don't think you release him alongside Winter Soldier. I don't think you release him alongside She-Hulk. I think Captain Marvel's too far out. And I think at that point it's just easier to say like, okay, we need to get this character out, so let's get him out beside Black Panther. So everyone has something. You know, obviously PlayStation has 2, but I think everyone has something then. You have like, you know, the raid and all that sort of stuff attached to it that, you know, the sting is there from no Spider-Man, but I think, you know, people will be okay with it. Can't wait for next week's episode. Yeah, it'll be a fun time, man. It'll be a fun time. Hope everyone enjoyed it too. It seems like a lot of people did, man. It seems like what I've gotten is like a lot of people enjoyed the start of that. So I feel like Black Panther is gonna have the most unique combat. Oh, for sure, without a doubt. Well, what's going on though, Suki? What's up, brother? They may show Claw as well. I don't know if they were gonna show Claw. I think they might save Claw for the kind of the deep dive in kind of what to expect from Black Panther. I don't know if a lot of people know Claw is gonna be that villain, so I think it might be worth it for them to save Claw until they get ready to kind of start marketing Black Panther himself. Horse meat. Wait, did I say horse meat? Black Panther always made his version of a Hulkbuster. The Black Panther is so fucking cool, dude. I want to be Black Panther when I grow up. I want to be smart as Black Panther. Is Deep Dive at 10 a.m.? That's Pacific time, right? It's at 1 p.m. Eastern. So you just got to convert that over. I think that's 10, right? 12, 11, 10. Yes, that's 10. Math checks out. How do you guys feel about certain legendary skins having alternate heroic abilities? I might be interested in something like that. Might be interested. You'd have to give me like a full rundown of like what kind of example of that would be. But I think off the top of my head, I'm not opposed to it. A comic book Claw would be cool. It's gonna be like, as far as I know about what we're gonna be experiencing with Claw, it's more comic book than it is MCU. As far as I know. Oh, we did get a glitch. Uh-oh. You know how I said we haven't had to reset a checkpoint today, guys? I jinxed it. I fucking jinxed it. Motherfucker. That sucks. Oh, just kidding. Yes. Sweet. Thank you. Thing is, I live in nowhere. We just have to convert it to nowhere time, man. He's got to figure that out. Sorry, guys. Checking my phone. This is going to be the last mission for tonight, guys. It's going to be the last one here. And then we'll be back tomorrow at, we'll ballpark at 12:45 Eastern. 12:45 Eastern. So if you guys like this, you want to come back tomorrow, hang out while we do the deep dive coverage. We all talk about what we saw. You can express your disappointment. You can express your happiness. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Come back tomorrow. And we'll be doing a lot of fun stuff tomorrow. Love a Black Panther skin based on his Ultimate Avengers look. I have to look that one up in 60s. I don't know what that looks like right off the top of my head. But I know Black Panther's got some fire costumes out there that I want to see. So reading Marvel for Real. Now with Marvel Unlimited app, start a Secret Invasion, do the other events up to World War Hulk. Yeah, Marvel Unlimited is a really good way to kind of catch up. It's what is it, 6 months behind current? So whatever gets released like last week, you got to wait 6 months for it to release on the app. But I think if you're just trying to catch up, I think there's a lot of good things on there. And I think it has like, how many comics on it now? Like 30,000, 20,000. So it's definitely a good resource if you're just looking to catch up and you just want to read some cool stories without having to worry about being current to what's coming out now. Definitely a cool resource that I think if you have the means to, people should definitely take advantage of. Kind of hard to watch a deep dive when I have to fend off the Kree. One, I get you, dude. It's the life you live, you know what I mean? Example of Thor's skin with Stormbreaker, where you throw Stormbreaker like Cap throws his shield. Interesting. I might be interested in that. That sounds pretty interesting to me. We'll see you tomorrow. Sounds good, Leafy. It's ridiculous that the Avengers YouTube channel isn't on the War Table on a time slot yet. Well, it's going to be 1 p.m. They did announce that it's going to be 1 p.m. They just don't. So what it's going to be is that they have it scheduled right now on their YouTube channel. So it'll just at 1 p.m. Eastern, it'll just flick over from private or scheduled to public. So yeah, you don't see it, and it's not going to be a premiere. So there's no like little thing that says like this is upcoming. It's just literally going to be like a flick of the designation for the video, and then it's just going to appear at 1 p.m. It's one way to do it. I would have liked to see a premiere, because then you get like chat in there and like everyone's chatting about it, and like, you know, there's like a hype build up around it, instead of like what they're doing now, which is kind of like just making it from schedule to public, which is like, it is one way to do it, but I definitely would have preferred like a premiere instead, you know. If I'm gonna pay for the skins, they at least could do something. I mean, that's true, man. I have said that. I said skins at a certain point should be doing more, you know what I mean? I definitely don't disagree with that. I definitely don't disagree. I think skins should have a little more emphasis on like making them kind of worthwhile of that purchase. I feel you. I feel you. Anyone playing on Xbox One? I think there's some people on Xbox around here. I'm gonna watch it with you, to be honest, to be safe. I get you. I get you. Yeah. So basically, man, like I said, guys, if you're interested in watching it here tomorrow, we're going to do one playthrough of the video where I'm not going to be talking. So it'll just be like you're watching it. I'll have my webcam on, obviously, because, you know, I mean, don't want to get totally fucked by, you know, copyright strike. Just kidding. I don't think they would do that to me, would they? But then afterwards, once we get a full single playthrough of it, we'll kind of go through it. We'll talk about it. We'll go through some scenes. Just a little breakdown of what we see. You know, any sort of Easter eggs that may be hidden in there. So we'll see what we got going on, but there will be one clean playthrough for you guys. So you're not just like having me pause 10 seconds into your first ever look at a lot of this stuff. Back here on YouTube, right? Yes, sir. Back here on the YouTube channel. All my Marvel coverage is going to be on the YouTube channel. I don't do a lot of the Twitch stuff anymore. I'm taking advantage of like kind of where a lot of my coverage for Marvel already exists, which is here on the YouTube channel. It's just like good, smart, I want to say business sense, but I don't really run this as a business, because I make $0 out of this. So, but it just makes sense because like there's a lot of like coverage I get here, and a lot of people come here for Marvel stuff. So It just makes sense to do a lot of this stuff on the YouTube channel for sure. I don't like watching this stuff in other places because the chat's usually horrible. Any smart conversation get drowned out by stupidity. Oh, I feel that. I would have liked to see it as a premiere though, because I think like it definitely can build like a community hype for it. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely think if you're watching it on like a main thing, like, you know what I mean? Like if you're watching on their channel and they did a premiere, so there's a chat. I definitely think, yeah, don't expect any smart chat out of that because everyone's gonna be like too busy spamming. But I think on the other hand, you're gonna get like a lot of people hyped together, which can almost build that hype up. Cloney Labs, guys, we got to pray for it tonight. I'm ready, dude. I'm gonna pray for it all night long. Do you read comics? I used to. I'm actually getting back into it very slowly. I have my tablet behind me beside my bed. I read a little bit last night, a little bit. Slowly but surely, I am gonna get back into comics. I'm catching up on Nick Spencer's Spider-Man run right now. So eventually, I'll be able to talk current comics, but it's gonna take me a little bit to get back there. So give me a little bit and I'll be able to talk. I don't know why, but I don't want to be called as gamers just because most of the time I played a lot of video games. I get you. What's up, Jenkins? Really, can you call me after the stream? Yeah, I got you. I'm just actually about to end, Greek. Colonial Labs are a myth. Shh, they're not. What time are you streaming for the War Table? I'll be here, guys. All right, guys. So this is the end of the stream tonight. So obviously, first and foremost, thank you guys for hanging out. I'll be live tomorrow, 12:45 Eastern. The War Table is 1 p.m. So obviously there's a 15-minute gap here. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk about expectations, what we should, predictions. You guys can kind of get in here, get settled, get ready. And then at 1 p.m., it'll go live. I'll do one clean playthrough of it. No, my mic won't be on the video, just me. And we'll kind of do one clean playthrough. And then afterwards, we'll come back to it and we'll do kind of a breakdown. Get your thoughts, get my thoughts. And we'll just kind of go from there. So that's 12:45 stream start, 1 p.m. for the deep dive. DC is changing, bro. Catch up. Dude, I will, man. I'm going to get back in the comics eventually so I can come on here and I can actually talk like I know things. There's any multiplayer issue about holding back cloniness when that gets fixed when apps release. Yeah, and I said, like, if they fix that and they've silently fixed that, like a great way to introduce that they've kind of fixed it and is releasing is through like a content drop. But we'll have to wait and see. Does that leaked gameplay even exist for Labs' own illusion? Yeah, it was like a mirage, right? We all just like saw it. Hold on. I'm bouncing out of this one. There's Cloney Labs in real life. I feel like I'm dying to watch it from the afterlife. Duck. You're good, Duck. You're alive, man. Just pinch yourself. Have a good one, fam. Catch you tomorrow. Thank you for the stream as always. Yo, of course. I'm glad Super Rebel showed me your channel. Yeah, shout out to Super Rebel for kind of shouting me out that one time in that video. He's a cool dude. I like him. Maybe I'll bring Super Rebel on and we'll do like a community voices with Rebel. Maybe that might be interesting. There's some things I want to talk to Rebel about, and I'm sure there's some things that you guys want Rebel to kind of talk about. So maybe if I have enough clout, I can get him on here. So he follows me on Twitter, so maybe I can do it. All right, last question. What's this cap lifting Thor hammer glitch all about? So there was a glitch, I think, what was it, like November, December, where Captain America was playing with Thor's hammer, and it led to speculation that in the files there's stuff to allow Captain America to pick up the hammer, and it's just a matter of kind of waiting to see if that turns out to be like an actual gameplay thing or if that was like the wildest glitch ever. Shuri Wakanda plus Stark suit is the future. I wish. I mean, you should have enough clout now. You winked? Yeah, okay. I wish. I am Batman. And I am off for the night, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. If you like the stream, you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop a like. It all helps me get super famous. Just kidding. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 12:45, and the deep dive's at 1 p.m. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. You guys are always the best, and you guys always provide the fun. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time, man. Take it easy. Have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Adios, amigos.